Goddamn with the pooty pooty. I want pooty pooty. Pooty pooty. Pooty 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 pooty. I want pooty pooty. I like pudding. I want pooty pooty pudding. That'd be awesome. And howdy y'all, welcome to the stream. We're playing 7 Days to Die again, because you know it's Saturday night, and of course we're also playing with caffeinated tigers. Yo, what's up with Pizza Bagel? How you doing? Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. When you eat pizza on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime. What's up, Stefan? And Dalton and Venom and Tyler. Charles is back. Good to see you guys come on in. We're just waiting for everything to get all loaded up, and it's going to be awesome. I'm doing pretty good, Tyler. How about yourself? Just getting everything ready up for 7 Days to Die. Of course, Tigers is always running the server. Having a damn good time. Yes, Charles Firth. We are on Alpha 16. 16.1 build 1 to be precise. What's up, Ross? How you doing? And Wyatt. Good to see you, Wyatt. Oh yeah, we're gonna get this party started regardless. We just waiting for Tigers to do her thing. Hey Tigers, you got all loaded up.
I'm almost there.
Yep, she's almost there. Can't wait to see those new traps. Yeah, we're trying to get them built. I do a lot of the building myself, so I'm trying to get the skills to be able to do it. Oh, hey, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry. Actually, you made the 8 o'clock stream. This is the 8 o'clock stream. Well, it's 8 o'clock on my time. So you're here for the evening stream. What, Dalton? I don't get what you're saying, bub. Yo, what's up, Pikachu? I watch Grand Spartan too. Oh, nice. Very cool. Yo, what's up, boss man? Hey, welcome back. You don't have to get sleep, Guitaria. Hey, it's 4 a.m. right now. I gotta get some sleep. Just thought I'd stop by, say hi, and eat that like button. Well, you need to throw some confetti. That's what you need to do. You look at your husband and throw confetti in the air. Oh, it's 10 o'clock where you're at? Well, hey, that's all right. I mean, I said I had my early stream earlier and played some Mafia 3. Tomorrow night, though, actually, no, not tomorrow night, but tomorrow for the early stream, we're going to be doing Dying Light, and we're finishing it up. It's going to be the finale for Dying Light, because we're at the very end of the storyline. Yo, what's up, Stevatron? How you doing? And Gossip, how you doing? Welcome. You was on vacation. Oh, cool. Where'd you go to vacation on? What's up, Dusty? It's going well, Dusty. How about yourself? Said we're just getting everything set up. Just Tigers is getting the server set up and going. Oh, very nice, Gossip. Got a little bit of alcohol going for you. I won't do that, Dalton. I don't do giveaways. Why would I also give away PlayStation Network code? I don't even own a PS4. Yo, what's up, Fallen Dragon? All right, hey, well, it was definitely fun playing with you yesterday, Dragon Ninja. I'm glad you can come out and play. And thanks for stopping by, man. What times do your early streams start Central Time? Should be 2 p.m. Central Time. What's up, Bradley and BJ? Yeah, Steve was asking about Mountain Time earlier. Oh, hey, you think it's grindy now, Jaded? It has gotten grindy more with Alpha 16. You guys don't even know yet. The people on consoles don't even know. Yo, what's up, Kai? And best friend, how you doing, buddy? Welcome back. And it's the birthday boy. It's Titan's birthday. He turns 30 today. He's getting to be an old motherfucker.
Guys.
Hey, what's up, River? How you doing?
Good. Ready to get my days to die on.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
still trying to get it going. I might have to restart 7 days to die.
Hey, what's up, Godless?
Well, then I don't feel bad
Oh,
for
you
running
give me
away.
that other video card, then you do. No, I see what you did. You know, I read that as Happy BJ Titan. That was my bad. Hey, you're not late, Bilbo. We haven't even really started yet. And what's up, BJ? Oh yeah, we always celebrate people's birthdays on here.
Don't forget, you need to sing it.
Yeah, I do need to sing it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you old motherfucker Titan. Happy birthday to you.
You need to sing happy birthday to Titan.
Yeah, because, you know, the whole push to talk thing. Hey, what's up, Elizabeth? Oh, yeah, we're doing 7 Days to Die. We're just waiting for Tigress to load up her, the server. It's kind of being a little slow on her end. I figured, but yeah, best singing ever. Hey, my voice is all kind of crapped out right now.
Go. Almost in.
Trust me, you should hear me when I'm warmed up and lubricated. Wait, that sounds bad.
That sounds also right.
But it does sound also right. You have reached happy birthday. You've officially reached old man leather ball status. Oh yeah, trust me. When your balls touch the toilet water, you have to commit suicide. It's state law. When's the album dropping, Porks?
Right off on,
fortunately,
on
I'm just doing
night,
singles.
So get in here.
That's right.
Oh, did we get to level 21? Night 21, I guess?
14. It's 14 at 1900.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna get right into the action.
Spent 4 hours building a 15 by 15 kill box, even with creative mode. Still took me that long to upgrade everything. Well, Kataria, do you have old leathery balls too? No, I'm not talking about the ones in your purse. What's up, Dane? How you doing? You should be able to hold on. Let me should be able to get a hold of get in contact. Let me grab Tigers real quick. I should be able to jump onto her stuff. There we go. Yeah, don't we all? You know, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, we do. No, not this time, Unturned. It's not community night. This is set for specifically for streamers and stuff like that I play with. God damn it.
Oh yeah, they're so nice.
Yo, what's up, Warrior? How you doing?
You're starting at Horde time. I thought it was earlier in the day.
Oh no, we're going right into it.
Let me just grab Tigers real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna grab Tigers real quick. Oh, fuck. Fuck. God. Also, once again, going right into it. Always smooth. Oh, you can hear all the stuff going on in the background, just waiting for everything to load up. Yo, what's up,
Jacqueline? Grab all the iron arrows.
Jacqueline, Arnold Alexander. Everybody, welcome Arnold Alexander to the stream. How you doing? Son of a bitch. Am I cold? Is my guy cold? Does he have enough food? He's got food. He's got water. He's fine. We're literally starting off right in the horde. You were kidding. You're saying we were starting right in the horde. Yo, what's up, Radek? How you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, the scariest part of the game is the loading screens. Ain't that the fucking truth? Uh-oh. Shit, I don't have any ammunition. That's not good. Not good. I do need ammo.
I'm gonna have to go and get back in. I don't see zombies.
You don't see them?
I mean, are they out here in the front?
Yeah, they're right here in this little zigzag.
I see the bodies when they die. I'm gonna get out and be right back.
Uh-oh. Yeah, she's definitely gonna have to hurry. God, where the hell? Oh my God, they're over here.
Weird.
God damn it. They trying to swim. Ow! I got a little close. The fact that I can hit him from this angle is pretty weird. Sorry. Ow! How the fuck am I freezing? Oh shit.
That one took out so many. How? I don't get how they're like living through this.
I don't either. I don't know how. Damn, that was a valuable hoe. That was a 440 hoe. Is Jibby working again? Possibly. I don't know. Shit, I need to get something to wear.
I'm making a bunch of arrows.
That's good. I also need to get a coat too. Scrap this one right here. There we go. That's better. Yo, what's up, Tyler? How you doing? It's Ryan. Oh, cool, man. What's up, Ryan? Shit. All right.
All right. Point me in the direction of the zombies so I can see if I see them.
They're all dead.
I missed it.
Yeah, we kind of got it all, but we need to fix this.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Horde Night start at 22?
Yeah, this was just a pre-night horde.
Oh, okay.
It was just a pre-cum horde. Because they came before the other horde. Hey, how you guys doing? What's up, Nookie Cookie? God damn it. I heard there was a glitch where you don't get any zombies on Horde. Sometimes that does happen, but they have, so far they've fixed it from what I've seen. Oh shit, they're getting here. They're going to be here soon. Alright, you gals ready?
Yeah, as ready as I'll be. Who wants some arrows?
I need arrows.
I'll take some.
Okay, I'll put some up here real quick for Porkins. I gotta drop some stuff off.
Shit, you're gonna have to make me run all the way back. All the way back. I thought it was funny, Porkins. Yo, what's up, New Vegas?
Under this box here. It's like in the middle area. Yo, cart. Oh, they're coming in from the north.
Shit. There you go. Awesome.
River.
Yeah.
Right here.
Thank you.
All right, they are coming in from the north. Let's go head out and get them. I'm doing pretty good, New Vegas. How's your leg doing, buddy?
I see them.
Ouch.
Are you seeing zombies right now, Tigress?
No.
Oh, don't scare me like that.
I had to pull out a weapon because I'm still trying to make a bow because mine broke.
I see them.
Shit, dog. I got it. Get that dog. We go skin that dog. Ooh, 3 cheese tortellini? Or yeah, 3 cheese tortellini. Damn, and alcohol. You gotta get that alcohol. Man, that dumb cunt. Come here. God damn it. It's like they started out on this stuff. God damn it. There you go. Why are they all stuck over here on that? Yo, what's up, Straight Thug? How you doing, everybody? Welcome, Straight Thug, to the stream. How you doing? Oh, shit, they are. They're coming. They're coming to get you, Barbara. God damn it. Come on, Hooker. Out in the mouth. Hookers, get it in the mouth. Oh, shit. Oh, you missed. God damn it. God damn it, I didn't get her. Got her. Oh, she spread for me. Yeah, see them? Boom goes the shotty, exactly. Blow the fuck up at him. There. Shit. God damn it. Not good, not good, not good. Fuck. It's these fuckers that cause a problem. God damn it, I hit you. Fuck it. Shit. Yeah, I know he gave me an STD. That's what happens when you fuck it out of rubber. Shit. Not good. Fuck, he's still hitting me from back there. Yeah, the fucking range on these guys is stupid for the melee. It's like you're still there. Makes no fucking sense. That's one thing they still need to work on is the melee. The melee range. Yep, she's gonna try. Okay, I was about to say, she's gonna try to swing at me.
I need to get health.
Oh, there's a little bit of them out there. There's a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, there's a little bit lot. Son of a bitch. Well, that's the most inefficient shot. Well, it's a real crap shotgun, unfortunately. Very low level. Doesn't do very well. Now, if it was at least like 150 or higher, it'd actually probably do quite a bit. It'd be a little bit more efficient. But for the most part, I mean, it does its job. Yeah, and those, the hit boxes, too. Not to mention the hit ranges for, zombies, too, are really fucked up. They're not quite...
Darn it!
You okay?
Yeah, keep...
I'm good.
Yeah, just stay back if you're going to use a bow, because remember, they got that ridiculously long range with melee.
I forgot.
Shit. There you go. Oh. Shit. Hey, what's up, Joshua Taylor? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I'm not paying too much attention right now to the stream. We're having this is Horde night right now, and there is a good amount of them out there right now at the moment. Oh shit. What's up, Max Pro? Oh shit. Right there in the face, and you get it in the face, and you get it to the face. Somebody's getting in the face, regardless. Really eye bounce. That's crazy shit. Oh god. Shit. Motherfucker. That shit in the fucking head. Oh, who else? Who else we got in here?
Okay.
There you go. Shit. Yeah, that was a good shot. Finally, so bored. How have you been? I've been pretty good. I don't really get bored anymore. I haven't been bored in years, to be honest. Oh shit, come on, nope. Robin Hood, I am not. Hey, what's up, Potato? It's Potato and Keith, welcome back. Shit, there you go. Fucking go melee, there you go. Yeah, you like that. Yeah, you don't like that, do you? Get shit on. Oh, good shot.
Since when do dogs run in hordes?
They started doing that this one. Gotta love it when they start running in hordes. It's nice. Whoa, what's the greetings from the greatest state in here? What's up, Indirect Hero? How you doing today? Everybody welcome Indirect to the stream. You motherfucker, stop it. Oh, you want to get into it now? Motherfucker, they're just coming and keep coming and coming and coming. Yeah, I know you never miss a stream there, Street Cleaner. I see you there all the time. If so, yarn, yeah, I'm out of yarn, so I'm bored. Oh, you're making Afghans. Oh shit, Snicker snack, baby, bam! Oh god. God, that big bitch is just soaking them like a tank. Damn, we're gonna have some loot. We're gonna have some loot. Indirect Hero, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. How you doing? I wish I could get some of these headshot. Nope, going right over her fucking shoulder. Bam! Right in the face.
Thank you, River.
For what?
You got one right before I was gonna kill it, but you got it.
Teamwork.
Hell yeah.
God damn it. Really? Come on. Got it. I was looking online for a new truck. So, like, what kind of truck are you looking
I want
for?
you guys to know I said teamwork, and then my son said, teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite zombie-themed game? I have a bunch of them. I don't have one that's my particular favorite, because I like all aspects of it. River, careful.
Forgot they were coming that way, dang it.
That's why I got your back. And hit a hooker there, and I hit a hooker there, and I hit a hooker here. The hooker gets hit there. I'm going all out. I'm going ham. That hooker ain't sneaking up on you. Oh, she had... Damn, that hooker had $17 on her. Not holding the focused aim button helps. Well, I'm not... That's the thing. I'm not holding that one. Well, this one, they have it... it's no longer straight ahead. It's actually slightly up and to the left. So where it's at, if you have it right here, you actually go a little bit higher than what you normally would. So you gotta go like up and a little bit to the left, and it hits every fucking time if you do that. Just bam, like that. It's very interesting. It's no longer straight and dead on how it used to be. What's the first zombie game you've ever played? It was Evil Dead for the Commodore 64.
Ooh, good one. Alright, I think we survived it pretty much.
Oh, we got a spider coming in.
Oh, where?
Ooh, do we?
Alright, it's time for loot.
Yay,
Let's see what we've won!
We've survived this round of Smash TV. Let's see where else we go. Went on Google and came back. I was waiting 20 seconds. Noticed I had the play button again. I started.
Oh, another spider.
Just staring at the pause button. Yeah, loot hype. Where's it at? Fuck it. I'm looting. Loot, glorious loot. I don't care what level it is. Loot, glorious loot.
If you loot a body, make sure you destroy it.
I gotta destroy it. Bam. Oh, shit. Hit the fucking concrete next to it. Yep, because you don't want to leave behind the bodies. And the reasoning behind that is it leaves a heat signature for every body that's left behind. And what that does is the more of a heat signature, the more zombies that like to show up, the more problems. Take it all and get a new 60-inch smart TV, your favorite mount. Yes, River is adorable. Make a bow for River and give it to her because she get a level 25. Oh, she is on level 25. I'll probably have to do that. Actually, Tigress is our weapons master. She needs to... Ooh, that bitch had some kits.
Iron pickaxe back.
I mean, if you don't want to use it, I'll take it. Otherwise, I can just make another one.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah.
I go mine.
Oh yeah. Glue. I picked a bad day to stop sniffing it. What we got here? Yeah, heat signature. Yes, the game actually has heat signatures. The more... Oh. Hey, how you doing? Stop it. There you go, stop it. Aw, you're so cute now. I've been finding a bunch of molded bread.
Yay!
So we can make antibiotics. Speaking of which, I need to grab one.
Me too.
I fell through the world.
Yay!
I have to go buy a new SSD for my computer. Why you gotta buy a new one now? Did you burn out the old one, or? We're gonna grab all that we can take. Head back, cure ourselves. I think I have some honey back up at the base. And then once we do that, then we'll come back down, help with loot and clean up, and then go back to just normally just building shit, having a good time, keeping the forge running. Everything sounds like a big old poopy sound. It's like I just spit the stream all over my mic. That's lovely. Hey, it's red pants. Hell yeah. Well, how much we got? Okay, we are pretty much just stocked up. Love how a piece of cotton just, colon just splashes up like, yes, the colon splash. That, I think that's someone's secret move in I think that's a finishing move in WWE. It's the colon splash. Alright. God damn it, my guy's overheating. Yeah, red pants, safety dance, exactly. I'm a no pants dancer myself. A bit. Alright, okay. I know there's some food here.
I know how to make compound bows.
Well, that's not a good thing. Let's double.
Did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you, but half the boxes we can't open.
What?
Yep, I just checked up there. We can't open half the boxes.
Alright, hold
Are
on.
you sure you weren't clicking on the signs?
I was, because I normally get the click noise.
Darn.
I'm having a whale of a time falling through the world again.
Probably because we got all these bodies and, you know, all that information.
Well, bodies happen, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna put all this stuff up. So we found a bunch of killer stuff, and that's always a good thing, too. Finding a bunch of killer things. Yo, what's up, Snow Surfer? How you doing? I can actually start paying attention to the chat again. Dressing nice is half the battle. How do you make those signs for the boxes, and is it PC specific? I think it is, but normally you can just build signs, just normal signs, and then mount them on the sides of the box. I believe, but with Alpha 15 for you guys, for the people still on console, I believe it is actually something that that you guys have boxes that are actually like a big first aid box you can get instead of just a generic crate. Because I think we gave up our the ability for I think generic crates. Rotting flesh, money. Oh, there you go. That was what it was. Gunpowder right down there because we needed the gunpowder. Arrowheads, I'll stick that there for the time being. Ah, shit, I had dynamite and didn't even realize it. Yes, River is freaking awesome. Gotta love River. Sitting here eating Fritos, Chips Ahoy, chunk cookies, and drinking red Powerade. Oh, hell yeah. Who's... Oh, River? River is a gal that we play with on stream. We usually also play with her husband, Yibby, which that also, once again, sounds really bad. We play with her husband.
So am I chopped liver?
No, not really. You're just more of a dick.
I mean, you're just like, you know.
What?
Oh, everybody on the streams are like, River's awesome, River's awesome. Yeah, you're awesome, but no one says anything about me.
Or me.
Yeah, real car. I mean, come on.
Oh shit, I need to take off my coat. I didn't realize I was fucking melting my ass off.
Guys, they must not have actually been watching my stream. I missed so many of those arrows.
Okay,
hey,
yeah,
I was doing the
get
same
into
thing.
The water ones.
Yo, what's up, Dimmerin? How you doing? Everybody, welcome Dimmerin to the stream. If anything, roll with the Takis or Doritos. I like Takis. Takis good. Takis Fuego. Oh hell yeah. You can't go anything wrong with Takis Fuego. Shit.
I can get in all yours, but the only ones I can't get into are the ones that are upstairs. So, do we just want everyone to back out and then we can go back in?
Yeah, we're gonna have to back out and do that because we can't get into half of them. There's no point in being able to.
And I'll restart my 7 days to die too, so completely.
All right. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to back out real quick. Tigers has to restart her router because everything's running off of her. Apparently, everything didn't load up right, and it didn't allow us to get into the boxes. Once again, that's kind of a error on the server part. That happens with this game quite a bit.
Kurt. Back out. Okay.
I was wondering what coffee Tigers uses. We don't use standard coffee like Folgers or anything like that. That's weak shit. We don't do that. We don't go with Starbucks because Starbucks is like drinking it through a nasty ass sock that was scorched completely and then drinking it out of a ash-filled ashtray. There's a couple of coffee places that we actually buy from. On the internet and everything like that. So we buy different types of flavors, different types of blends. We enjoy our coffee.
And thank you everyone for all the love.
Rebecca said, yeah, Tigress, you're the best, so you're so confident and love yourself, so others don't please much, and we love you. So everybody's giving you love, Tigress. You're just a dick.
Yeah, I know, I'm a dick.
What is your favorite brand of chips? Actually, I don't really eat a lot of chips, Stevatron. Actually, I like to make my own. What I'll do is I'll take I have a mandolin. What I'll do is I'll take potatoes and I'll slice them really thin, and then I'll just fry them in I'll put like maybe like a third of an inch of oil, like peanut oil, or canola oil at the bottom of a cast iron pan. I'll fry them myself. I like doing those. Fresh chips are the badass. Demarin Anderson, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. How you doing this evening? What's up, Warlord? How you doing? I can guess who ate the banana bread kit. I love banana bread.
I'm back in.
My husband had like 6 slices. He loves my baby. He only had 6 slices? What a puss. I would have ate the whole entire thing and would have said, you ain't getting shit. Fucking, I love banana bread. If banana bread had an asshole, I'd eat it. Alright, we're jumping back in.
Maybe.
It's not showing up for me yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of frozen.
I'm surprised you didn't eat it before it came to the plate. Yeah, I would be fighting second-degree burns as I'm eating it out of the pan. What's up, Patrick Jenkins? Everybody welcome Patrick Jenkins to the stream. What's up?
Yeah, hold on. It's like I'm completely frozen.
Actually, I'm joining up with you right now.
Oh, I can't even move.
I'd motorboat some banana bread. Fuck yeah, New Vegas. You know what I'm talking about. You'd be like, right in a banana bread. Boy, I'll tell you what, I grab that banana bread and I stick it between my face, pretend it's like a pair of butt cheeks and go, boh, boh. What's my favorite brand of coffee? I don't have a brand of coffee. It's really not so much of a brand as it is different flavors. I get my stuff from different sources, but I don't go with like the super big name brand shit.
Can you move?
Hold on, let me check. Yes, I can move.
Damn it,
I can move.
I can't.
I can open boxes now.
Yeah, well, I'm completely frozen still.
Give it a few moments. Yo, what's up, OP Delta? Oh, you drink Krispy Kreme smooth for your Keurig? Yeah, we have a Keurig. We have one of the first gen Keurigs, which are the best ones. Then we also have an automatic drip pot, just in case. We haven't broken that out in a while. And then we have a couple French presses. French presses are the way to go. Ho for sale, Elkhart. Ooh, wait a moment, I'll take that. I'll go downstairs and this. Pumpkin bread? Oh, hell yeah. Pumpkin bread is great. I love pumpkin bread. Can you see that?
Yeah, go ahead. I can't move.
That is weird. I get to do stuff to her. What's up, Lucas? You're playing Dark Souls?
I can't even
nice.
Escape out of it.
You might have to Alt-Tab.
I have. You think
I
haven't tried that?
Okay. Oh, don't give me that lip. I swear to God, I'll smack the hell out of you. Shit. Tigers is having technical difficulties.
Well, you know what that means. They have to Control-Delete out of it.
Yep, pretty much.
And so you guys are pretty much going to have to back out again.
Yep. I will back out, son of a bitch. Oh, and Elkhart, of course, gets in. So, yeah, that's what happens. Sometimes it's another thing, too. Sometimes whoever starts the server gets locked, and then it soft locks for them. Wall of Joey. Yes, it's the Gladstone wall. They're chairs. It's the way that particular place is built. Those little pieces you see on the ground are considered half walls. Well, on a half wall, it's not just a half wall. It's considered a full wall since you can't see the rest of it. So when you set the chairs on top of it, it looks like they're floating. Yeah, Tigress is not streaming, Lucas. She just runs the server. I like your idea. I like your thinking, Ross, but for some odd reason that don't work. Trust me, I've been barking up that tree for years. I am so ashamed of myself. Well, you should be. So once again, we're just, the servers are really touchy in this one. But that's okay. I'd rather have a touchy server than opposed to having different alphas where you have to restart every single time. So once Tigress gets her server back up, we'll go right back into it, and everything will be just fine.
Hopefully I'm not starving to death by that time.
You know, I like challah bread. Challah bread is really good. No, Jaded, no. I know what the problems are that she has. It's actually something that's particular with this going on. Because we're on the same network, and this happens every once in a while. There you go. So she got it.
My character is glitched too because it said I was like starving.
Favorite pie? Any. I love pie. That's all you have to say. There's no favorite pie for me. It's just pie. Like, what is your... Do you want pie? Yes. What is your favorite pie? Yes. No, seriously, what is your favorite pie? Yes. That is my answer for what is your favorite pie. Hey, what's up, Taco? Welcome back. Are you back in and working now?
Yeah, okay. And I am moving around.
Yay, she's moving. A Finnish cardamom bread. Oh, that sounds good. Alright, here we go. We're heading on back in, guys. Because that's the thing, it happens. Do you need a tissue for an issue? But yeah, rhubarb pie is good. Yeah, I like all pie. I like cream pies. I like fruit pies. I like savory pies. I haven't eaten a pie I haven't liked. But yeah, strawberry rhubarb pie. Yeah, I'll eat that till I get sick. But I think we're all in agreement. Everybody loves pie here. That's a good thing. Pie is an awesome thing. And if you guys enjoy what you see, give that like, subscribe, and notification button some hell. I'll be glad you did. Filling is the official decided for the Porkins-inspired cake. Strawberry rhubarb with a vanilla buttercream. You know what a great thing is if you do with that vanilla buttercream? Add a shot or two when you're mixing the buttercream of caramel Baileys. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. Tigers take all the time you need. Beautiful ladies are worth the wait. Hell yeah, ain't that the truth? Pizza bread with chunks of pepperoni and cheese. Oh yeah. What do you like best in your pot pies? I like wild game. I like different types of wild game, like venison. I had one time a killer. Somebody made a really good. It was a halibut pot pie. It was like a fisherman's stew, but inside of a pie shell. My God, I thought I was gonna like have orgasm after orgasm. It was good.
Hello.
A lot of people wouldn't think, you know, that would be that great, but it is. And welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
People be messing with my forged iron.
Fucking hell.
Alright, real quick, I need to start adding stuff to my skills because I can actually start doing more toolsmithing and science. What was that other one I wanted to do? We got quicker crafting.
There you go. I got the dogs for you, River.
Thank you.
Ooh, sexual Tyrannosaurus. That's always a good one. Damn, that next one's going to be quite a bit.
Damn it, she screamed twice.
Medicine handguns, rifles, shotguns. I do stuff with shotguns every once in a while. I wonder if Sammy's going to drop by. Usually she does. Yeah, I like it when she stops by. Oh, ice cream cake? Oh my god, don't even get me. Oh yeah, pecan pie, instant sugar rush. Alright. Oh, I can't do any more minor 69er till the next level. That sucks. Okay. Bad mechanic. Clothing. Oh, workbench. Workbench. Shit. I will save my stuff for workbench and concrete mixing. Didn't realize I could actually build those now. But I can actually build better tools. That'll help. I am so down for that. Alright. Alright, once again, we gotta keep the forge going.
We did it.
So we're gonna put some clay in there for the time being. I need to go find some more lead, and I need to go find some more brass because we need to be able to make bullets. I love baked spaghetti. Oh yeah, baked spaghetti. Well, any sort of baked pasta dish is really damn good. I don't care who you are. Baked ziti is absolutely just fantastic. I will just, yeah, there's some, I've done some stuff. Yo, what's up, AMX? Good to see you, buddy. How you doing? Had chicken broccoli with white rice and 4 chicken wings and with fried rice and Pepsi. Oh yeah, you fool, you fool. Hey, what's up, Tyler? How you doing? I'm doing pretty good, man. Everything's going on. We're actually playing 7 Days to Die, having a hell of a time right now. I'm actually going to go out and collect some resources. Need to get a few things going. Actually, I need to get a shovel. I don't even have a fucking shovel made. Yeah,
I
where
just
the
found
hell?
a steel one.
Very nice. What level?
136.
That's pretty fair.
Come out. Oh, shit, 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 shit.
What shit? Where's he shit?
Who wants some meat?
What'd you just kill?
I'm getting killed by wolves.
Are you running away from me? Oh.
Oh, is
I'm
there a big
coming.
pack? Oh, yeah, pasties? Pasties are awesome. Alright, I'll see you later, Renegade.
I mean,
Oh, thank God.
You did all that.
There's 3 of them, so...
You killed all 3 of them. Holy
No, there was
smokes.
2 more that ran off, but I got 3 that followed me.
Great job.
Some guy spent 40 years of his life and he found electricity. This guy didn't know electricity existed and he started in
Yeah, it just happened to
1976.
turn around and there's...
Until now he wants credit for it. What? That man's on drugs. I want what that guy's on. That's some good drugs. He's like, I invented electricity. It'd be like Hank, he'll be like, I was the one who invented propane, damn it. I could see that happen. Shit. Actually, I need to build a... I need to make a pick. Yeah, all my shit. I need to make some new stuff. I need to make picks. I need to make a few other things. Okay, so I need to build a iron pick. And screw it. I'll just build an iron shovel for right now. That'll be fine. Yeah, pasties. That's what they're called. They're called pasties. They're known throughout the British food hierarchy, so to speak. They can either come in savory or sweet, and they're actually very fucking delicious. Not sure how long I could stay. Thought I'd drop by. Hey, what's up, Lady Freedom? Hey, I'm glad you could stop by just for a little bit. Yes, you can build gun turrets. You just have to get your skills up into that range to do so.
I think we
And unfortunately, I don't have that. He started when he was 27. So this motherfucker didn't know about electricity, and he's 67 years old now because he spent 40 years. That is a special kind of stupid. I award that man no points, and may God have mercy upon his soul. You're all sitting there like you're shit. Oh, you're not late, Michael. Welcome to the stream, buddy. No, I'm a Youper from Upper Michigan, so you gotta love him. Yo, what's up, Golden Wings? How you doing? Alright, so what we're doing is we're just chopping down trees. What the fuck? It just spun. Don't know what the hell was that all about, but okay. Well, 'tis the age for uber stupid. People can just look at the White House. Oh, I see what you did there. Did he not go anywhere with electricity? Well, that's the thing. He was raised all the way until 27, supposedly. So, I mean, he didn't know about electricity beforehand.
Okay, I think we got him now.
I wish I could have seen the Mafia 3 stream. And Mafia 3 looked actually great. It was the first time I played it on my new PC, and it absolutely looked and functioned perfect. Even the cutscenes were playing too, and that was the big thing. He didn't believe it was invented. All right, okay. All right. Catch you later, Demi Wren. Yeah, there is some special types of stupid out there. I don't even know how that even happens. I don't even know how I can even comprehend that. I mean, that's just, in the words of wow. There's some stupid there. Sure, grow a tree right out in the middle of the fucking street. Let's do that. Alright, ooh, what's in here? Ooh, trash can. What's in the trash can? Ooh, glue. Yeah, we found glue. Housekeeping! Housekeeping, you want towel? Housekeeping, want for fluffy pillow? Nothing in here so far. So far, anyways. Yeah, this town is actually pretty cool. It does have a lot of things going for it, and also there's a few things I can go break down. I'm thinking about breaking down some of these cars. But actually not until I get better at the bad mechanic perk. Yeah! Housekeeping's a few days late. They need to add a broom and a maid's dress so you can say housekeeping. I would so do that. Just got a new laptop. I will add you after the stream. Oh, nice. Cool, mobile gamer. And what's up, Mario Sunshine fan? Good to see you again. What the hell was over here? Oh, I think that was that one building I broke. Did it finally break? It did break. You missed the brass faucet in the upper shop.
Oh my gosh, River.
Really? The brass faucet in the upper shop?
I can't even see your hard hat. You're wearing a hoodie, and you just have a light that's like hanging in front of your face.
I'm going to take that off already.
Let me take a screen cap. I'll share it with you afterwards.
Didn't realize that there was a brass brass faucet.
I smiled for that. You can't tell, but I totally smiled for it.
Well, we've been killing a lot of the things that have been around here. And so they've been despawning since we've been killing them. But slowly they actually come back over time. Like that right there. I don't think I could get it. I don't think it'll allow me to get it. I can always try. Let's see if I can. Oh, wow, that is interesting. I'd never noticed that. Every time you use OBS, it only records for about 2 to 10 seconds. Then you definitely have some issues or problems depending on what your machine is and what you're setting.
I'm gonna make a bunch of first aid kits.
Well, I'll be damned. Nice. Did not know that. That is a good tip. I did not know that you can actually break down the brass faucets in the back of the sinks.
Yeah.
What?
There we go. I'll put up this fire
Is it okay
axe.
if I read the hunting knife book?
Use the sledge? Oh, okay. So you can actually break it. Oh, I noticed you just break it down. I thought you actually had to take it apart. I don't know why you would have to break it down, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Found 37,762s.
What's up, Rip Finn? Eyes are burning. 4 in the morning. Sub catch you later. Thanks, Rip Finn. Hey, I appreciate you coming on in. I guess I'm gonna go in through this way. Really? Cocksucker. Take that gas barrel. Fucking smash him in the goddamn head. Alright, workbench and trash pile. Team Insomnia. Yeah, sleepers for the week. Ain't that the goddamn truth? Battery, nice. Metal. Nice, 20 little chunks for that. Yeah, glad I give an old pro a few pointers that come around. Hey, there's always new shit, and I don't know everything. I sure as hell don't know everything. Try the vise. This thing over here is just a typical workbench right here. You can actually use it. Blake Gale, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Son of a bitch. You know what? Break this motherfucker down.
19 medkits.
Don't go through the open windows, just break down the garage. I know, I like breaking down the garage door because I like to have a quick entrance to get in and out. Sometimes windows don't do that. I've gotten caught on windows before. So I feel better just jumping out through them. What's up, cool dude? Welcome back.
Cans anywhere?
I usually scrap them, but you can check around.
Fuck that, I'm out of here.
Well, if anyone finds any, I would love them. I want to make some landmines.
Okay.
Be careful, because the landmines can actually get hit by the other players and kill them.
I've got plans for Yibby.
Oh. Okay.
I like that.
But shh, don't tell him.
I will say nothing.
I don't know what you're talking about. Alright. Oh, we got that big building over there in the distance. Oh, I still got my Iron Mine over here. Let's go check that out again. Totally forgot I had that over here. We're gonna go get some iron. I've been feverishly working underneath this Pills place that has been a really big part of just mining everything out. All this nice little red ore stuff is freaking just outstanding. Are there others in there with you? Yes, there are. There are Caffeinated Tigress, River PB, and Elkhart. Time goes down the toilet. That's exactly where it goes. But yes, all these little spots that you notice right here, the red spots, these are all iron. You doing an after? Yes, I am tomorrow, Ross. I'm going to be doing that. We're actually going to be doing the finale of Dying Light tomorrow, so I hope you guys can come and make that out. We're going to be finishing that up once and for all. I've already done a complete playthrough on the Xbox One and recorded it. It's already on my channel, and then I did a live stream of it. We're gonna be of it on PC, so we're gonna be finishing that up, and that's gonna be freaking awesome.
Oh, here is on.
Well, thank you, cool dude. I remember actually you subbed the other night, bub. Actually, I'm not one for wishes. I tend to try to make my dreams come true. I would probably give my wishes to somebody else. I have no need for wishes. There's a mop movie I want to get. Really? There's a mop movie? A movie about a mop. I'm just waiting for the day for this fucking thing to collapse on me. Did you know that you can place semi-level in the ground by placing wood frame? Oh, you can semi-level the ground by placing wood frame. Yeah, I noticed you can kind of do that if it's not properly level. That you can kind of just set something down and then it'll just level itself out, and then you pick the frame back up. Yeah, it's a really cheap way of terraforming. Will you have done the secret ending in Dying Light secret ending? I don't really know what the secret ending is. I'll have to check that out to see if I've gotten everything for the secret ending.
About to be some shots fired at this dog.
Ooh, silver nugget.
This is a big fucking mine here. Why are you gonna go support that movie just to go make fun of it? It's not making fun of it. You're actually giving them money. You're saying you support it.
Yeah, you're telling them that you actually enjoy content like that and want more of it.
Yeah, so by paying them, you're actually helping it and making it gonna happen more often. Do you really want to do that? Oh shit, there's a ton more. Crap. Alright. I have a feeling this is going to fall out on me, but you know what? I don't care. Fuck it. But I am finding all this great freaking ore. Yeah, watch out for poorly animated falling ore. Alright, catch you later, cool dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate you stopping by. And how you doing, Kimberly McCraw? Everybody welcome Kimberly McCraw to the stream. How you doing? Just trying to see exactly where everything's going to go, what's going to happen. Oh, wait. This is actually heading back outside again. Uh-oh. But the fact is, I'm getting some really good stuff out of this. I really enjoy this piece of rock mine that I'm getting. Alright, I'll catch you later, Kataria. You need to post more shit on your goddamn YouTube. Getting tired of it. Yeah, you'll be fine. I got Titan King here, and I'm pretty sure Rastius will show up. He got a piece of ass last night, so he should be fine.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching.
Yeah, but you don't support bad movies by going to them. You support you don't support bad movies at all. That's why they're going to try to make another Ghostbusters movie, because so many people went to see it and they realized it was bad as hell. When they were already told that in the first place. Alright, catch you later, Kataria. Have a good night. Oh, I have a feeling I'm going to be making poor life decisions. More than I usually do. Yeah, I need to dig this out real quick. So I have a quick way of getting out, because I have a feeling bad shit's going to happen. Bad mojo. I'm digging the earth. Stop it. Yeah, because I'm digging over here, and this is going to start coming out. I know it is, and then when that happens, all this shit's going to fall. It's just going to happen. It's inevitable. I'm free from the horrible graphic mine. Oh, it looks like it's even worse from here. We should dedicate a stream of donating a cure for cancer. Actually, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to do as my channel becomes larger. I'm looking to do a monthly stream, which will be probably like a 12-hour stream, where it'll be for a specific, well, it'll be for like a specific foundation, something like Doctors Without Borders, Wounded Warrior Foundation. And I have a few of these up. It's just you can do these for you can do the donations and all that kind of stuff for them, but they prefer larger YouTubers to be able to do that because they can set it up through the website, and it makes it a hell of a lot easier as opposed to like donating through a PayPal or something. Yo, what's up, A Joke? I made a guitar video. Oh, very cool, Mario Sunshine. Oh, this is not going to end well. I can see it. Not going to end well. That's okay. Fuck it. Now, see, that's understandable, Lady Freedom. Of course, I don't watch a lot of movies myself anymore. I haven't in a while. But no, I understand completely how you feel on that. Oh, wait a moment. This is a good thing. We're going to... Alright. I can now make workbench.
Yay!
I like it when the girls make me celebrate. Makes me feel all kind of funny, like when I used to climb the rope in gym class. Prefer a banjo video? Hey, banjo players are pretty damn cool, man. I like banjo players. Well, shit. When people see this in 2040, they're literally going to kill themselves. Well, not necessarily true. I can look back at things in 1977 and be like, hey, that was pretty damn cool. I've never walked out of a bad movie because I always feel the need to get my money's worth. Yeah, I've sat through things in movie theaters and literally grit my teeth. But like, you know what? I paid for the money. I might as well sit there. And I've tried to enjoy movies. I really did. So welcome everybody to the stream. How you doing tonight? We are playing 7 Days to Die. We're playing with Caffeinated Tigress, River PB, and also Elkhart. Hopefully Yibby will be coming in later. Oh shit. Not good. But shit, things are going to start caving in here shortly, but that's okay. Fuck it. Did you see the Shovel Guitars video? No, I have not. I don't know what that is either. What is Kentucky Kingdom there, Fat Mac? Oh, shit. That's getting a little sketchy. I'm pretty sure if I remove this section around here, all this is gonna fucking fall. So guess what we're gonna do? Wait a moment.
You're gonna remove it?
Possibly. See, she knows what I'm up to. See the new Ready Player One trailer? No, I don't watch movie trailers. I haven't watched any movies in about 5 years. Yo, what's up, good gamer? How you doing? I am staying chunky as ever. How you doing, buddy? A 2-string guitar that's amped and homemade. That's cool as shit. I like that. Yeah, these I like. It's a big water park. Oh, damn, that sounds good. It's like Deliverance, but with Mickey Mouse and inner tubes. Goofy says squeal. Uh-oh. Once again, I said this place is going to actually fucking... It's going to cave in, but you know what? We're going to have fun with it. Oh, shit. This motherfucker's going to... Intriguing gameplay. Yeah, I know. It's I'm the builder of the group. I'm the miner. I get the resources. I have to build stuff. That's what I do. Tigress does a lot of the weapon building. She does some scouting from here to there. You never have, huh, Stevatron? That's pretty interesting. Yeah, what about Hank Hill? What about Hank Hill? What do you want to know about Hank Hill, son? But I'm at least trying to get all the iron out of this side. But here's the thing. If I drop this, I think the pills place is going to drop with it. Yeah, the pills are going to drop. Pills are gonna drop. Alright, let's go. Let's start digging. But at least from this, I get a lot of sand and I get rocks. And this is actually one of the easiest way to get sand and rocks. That's gonna help actually with concrete building. Killed by a falling rock. See that while I went out fat? It'll happen. Trust me, it might happen. Not the first time. Definitely won't be the last. Is that a coal vein? That looks like a coal vein. Hank Hills is on my TV. King of the Hill. If you want to actually... What was it? I actually watched a movie that was all in first person. It was called like Hardcore Harry or something. Is that what it was? You remember that movie called Hardcore Harry?
Not ringing a bell, but you know
It's that first person movie.
Oh, yes, that one.
What's up, Sammy? Oh, good to see you, Sammy. How you doing? Uh-oh. Shit. Oh, shit. There's more iron there. Oh, Hardcore Henry. Henry, that's what it is. Still a damn good movie. We're gonna get this all out. That's the job of being a miner. And it's go, boys, go. They'll time your every breath. And every day you're in this place, you're 2 days nearer death, but you go. We're gonna get all this. We're gonna suck it dry for all it's worth. I'm gonna get on that big old meaty vein, and I'm just gonna pump it for everything it's got. Oh, very nice, Fat Mac. No, I will not, Mario. I will not play that. Yeah, hi-ho, it's off to work we go.
Well, no candy tins, but I did find a rocket launcher and 17 rockets.
But also, this is a good way to get the mining tools up as well. It is a very, very good way of doing it. But I don't know if it'll collapse this time, but it's coming close. It's been a hard day's night, yeah. And I've been working like a dog. So how's it? Oh shit! That was a lot of stuff that just fell. All right. I think what I'll do is I'll start mining this stuff from the top. I heard a sound that says you might want to watch it. Be like, nah, we're gonna go. We're gonna keep doing it. Be like, I'm that guy that says, fuck it, we're going. I watch Barney when I want to be scared and confused. Or that Drivers, Diners, and Dives guy, whoever that Guy Fieri, he's about as bad as Barney. I wouldn't be surprised if one day I'm just walking down the street and he pulls up in his 69 Camaro convertible, pulls a gun on me and says, get in the fucking car, we're going to Flavortown. Oh, hey Justin, how you doing? Welcome. Welcome with Sammy. How you doing today? This is interesting as my life. Oh, I see what you did, A-Joke. But we're doing this for the great of Mother Russia. I think this is one of those ones that might be causing problems here.
What's causing a problem?
Collapsation. Oh, there you go. Yes. All right. Cool. Let's do this. Let's mine this shit. What's up, Charlie Noodles? How you doing? Everybody, welcome Charlie Noodles to the stream. I'm glad you two are doing well, Sammy and Justin. Glad you guys can come out and visit. I
and
wish
you know
it.
Sledgehammer, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, I found another schematic for it, if anybody else.
Oh, Fraggle Rock. I wish they'd bring that back. I love Fraggle Rock. What are you playing on? I am playing on PC, and we're having a hell of a time. We're on Alpha 16.1 Build 1, and right now I'm doing a lot of mining and resource gathering because I need to keep the forge running. Is about to have something truly heavy on him here shortly. Yes, shit's gonna happen. Mining for workers' victory, exactly. We can do it. But I think my pick is only good as I can do. Built a house yet? Oh yeah, I trust me, we already have that. We got that. Actually, I'll show you where we're built at. Said I've been down in the mines for so long that I haven't seen the light like a day. Literally, I've been under here for almost like 24 hours. I might get the fucking black lung. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Because what is it? Built out. I went there and on over here. I cut out over here somewhere. Is doing his impersonation of a dozer. Yep, I'm doing my impersonation of a bulldozer. What's the scariest movie you ever seen? I've seen was Space Jam. To be honest, I don't even remember Space Jam. How do you set up live streams on consoles? That's a little bit different. What I do is I usually use an Elgato. I have a Elgato HD60S Pro built into my computer. And what I do is I actually run my console through my computer and then back out to my monitor. And then I use OBS Studio on my computer to be able to run it properly. Oh, a doozer from Fraggle Rock. Oh, yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. I remember. Took me a moment because I'm fucking old. The amount of crushed sand we got, though, that is... I'm digging that. Ha! Got him. I'm gonna go hit myself in the head now. Alright, I have electrical parts. I did find shit. I need to put this back in here. Oh, there you go. Lead. Pipe. You ain't old. You're a youngster compared to my ancient arts. Yeah, I know, though, lady, but, you know, anybody that's like 10 years younger than I am, they see me as some saintly wizard, as if I'm Gandalf. And it happens, trust me. When you get to a certain age, you kind of look at even people that are 20 years older than you are, you're like, we're not so far away, you and I. Got the CRS. Can't remember shit. That's exactly right. I can't remember shit. Sometimes I forget my ass we're in a hole in the ground. That's just how life goes. Wait a moment. I was putting up stuff where I shouldn't have been putting up stuff. As I told you, CRS is kicking in. It's kicking in strong. And that's when the CRS kicked in. Put Elmer Fudd in a straitjacket. Really? Most youngsters see me and say, why haven't I died already? Oh. The original Psycho? Oh, yeah, the original Psycho that was with Anthony Perkins. Oh, excellent movie. Excellent horror movie. That one had a little bit of everything. I don't care who you are. That was a great movie. think I need to put this down in here. Oh, I've been working without a shirt, too. I've been working with my shirt off. I got my nail gun, and, you know, I'm going to put my nail gun on because I'm feeling something bad's going to happen. Something bad's going to happen to your whole entire family, O'Doyle. I think one time I met a man in his 20s, he said he looked old, and I just looked at him like, really? Yeah, I know some people just can't get over the fact that, you know, they think 20 is like super old. I'm like, get the fuck out. I'm going to hit you in the head with this tack hammer. You just get the fuck out. The Hank Hill impression brought my childhood memories back. Have I seen The Thing? The original or the new one? Haven't seen the new one, but the original one with Kurt Russell is absolutely freaking phenomenal. Love the original one. Actually, one of my favorite, it's a creepy movie. It's scary, but it's also humorous, and that's Creepshow. It was written by Stephen King, but it was directed by George A. Romero, the late George A. Romero. God rest his soul. But yeah, that one actually, the creature, which is the furry that they call from Antarctica that they have in the box. That thing is fucking scary. I remember watching that thing for the first time when I was a kid. Oh, scared the shit out of me. I was terrified. I was terrified of wooden boxes, like anything coming out. I thought it was going to come out and just eat my ass and pull me into an abyss. I want to be old enough to look at a midget and go, where's the rest of you? I want to be that old. Oh shit, I need to destroy this axe too, because I need a new axe. Motherfucker, I'm always making new shit. Iron axe craft.
Oh, there's a bear out here.
The bears.
Doubles. Sausage.
And a horde.
Like a horde we need to fight?
Yeah, it's like running.
Can't believe I missed your entrance. How you doing,
I'm
coming. What's up, Fierce? How you doing? Oh, jeez.
I found the bear. I'm gonna go a different way.
All right, we're gonna do this now. This is life.
If it was no, you were at the right one.
Okay, good.
Act like you're an arc and train it.
They're so
Oh
high.
no.
Yeah, they're like piling up on each other.
Have any pets? I do not have any pets. I used to have cats, but sadly they're no longer with us. I lost both my cats last year. That motherfucker's just all spinning. He's like, you spin me right round,
like
baby.
That
right
nerves.
round.
Yeah.
Yeah, zombie orgy. I once fought a bear with a 308 and a 45 pistol and a Bowie knife. I could see it in this game. Got him! Got him! Justin wants to hear a famous Hank Hill impression. I want to hear the Peggy one. Peggy, let me smash. See, now
really
Peggy
like
won't let me smash. She says my propane tank is too small. But bitches love propane tank. She'll let John Redcorn smash, but John Redcorn is a hoe. I hope that works enough for you. I hope I can give some shooting ability from up above there. Alright, what else do we got? Oh, I need to see what I have in the forge going on. Okay, that's good. We're still pumping that out. Let's put some more iron in. And I probably need to put some more wood on the fire, too. Yes, I need to put more wood on the fire. So we'll split that stack, load it up. Good, it's going. Low graphics dying light with that bow. Yeah, it is. But she can make, but tigers can make compound bows now. Your dad used to have ferrets? Oh, dude, ferrets are freaking awesome. I always liked ferrets.
I think I might try to kill that bear so we can get some more meat.
All right, I'm gonna put this up for right now. You know, it's
Isn't
already
it a zombie bear? Would we really get meat from it?
if it's a zombie one, though, but when I saw it, it didn't look like it was a zombie.
Where's this bear at?
From the gas station over here, between the cafe and the...
Well, if we do the stun lock trick, we should be able to kill it.
That might be a zombie. I don't know. I like River's idea.
It looks like an original
You guys want to do this, and then we'll,
Yeah, how did you get up there?
There's some wooden bricks back there. So let me know whenever we're ready to attack.
Go for it.
I've got some more if somebody wants to get on the roof across the street.
I'll get on this one over here.
And I got no problem staying on the ground. I have no problem staying on the ground. What's up, Lose without saying anything? What's up? AJ, you gonna head on out? Oh god, it fucking charged me. That's a big fucking bear. God, it's in my ass! It's in my ass! It's in my ass! It's in my ass! It's in my butt! Oh god! I'll run in a circle! Just shoot it! Oh god, no! Wrong one! Whoa!
We got it!
Yay, we did it!
No, that was that one right behind.
It's not a zombie.
No, I said it was not a zombie. That's why I got close up from it, because it didn't have any big open wounds on it. Not to mention the other bears like that are kind of grayish.
Yeah, I got meat from it too.
Nice, a lot of bear. Yeah, that bear was gonna hump me. It was gonna do stuff to my butt. Should have got more than just 7 from that, but okay.
Yeah, I know. But still, it's a bowl of stew.
One bowl of stew, a lifetime of trauma and wounds. Okay, really, bye, Porkins. I'm going, probably, maybe, maybe not. Well, if you do go, alright, catch you later. If not, hey, still stick around. Keep doing stuff. We'll do butt stuff. I'm back, just saying goodnight. Alright, I'll catch you later, New Vegas. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, I don't get it. Josh is all wanting to play, but where's Josh?
Where is the Josh? I don't see the Josh. The Josh should be in here. Really want them to add honey badgers. No, no honey badgers. Screw that noise. That's the last thing I want. Something fast and stupidly strong. It's like a bear, but with super speed. It's like it's Usain Bolt with rabies. He wanted your bear buns. Oh yeah, he's like, you ain't. I want some of that bowl of porridge there, Goldilocks. Just fucking run off. He didn't even have a van, for crying out loud, and his candy wasn't all that great. Yeah, it should have easily provided enough meat, but yet, what they did was they turned down how much meat you get from things, which makes no frickin' sense. Hey, what's up, Breaking Benjamin? How you doing? Welcome back. You know, I still love that photo that you have right there, the Doctor Who symbol. I really enjoy that. You should make a base out of that mine. Well, a base already towards that? Because I'm trying to gather enough stuff so I can actually build a big wall for that the thing, the frickin' motel. Because once I get the ability to actually do concrete, I can actually start reinforcing that entire place, and it'll be glorious. I'm gonna build a wall. I'm gonna have the zombies pay for it. It's gonna be awesome. Two things. I take pride in getting good pictures. Nice. You need the auger. Well, the auger doesn't... It does work, but for mining, it doesn't do as well as it should. They've nerfed the auger considerably. In Alpha 15, it was really badass. Alpha 16 is nowhere near what it used to be. They've made it grind heavy, too. Not to mention, they've made it hard to find the parts for the auger, too. That is a big fucking ore deposit. There's lots of things I'm traveling. Kill lots of Yaguai and I get barely one roast or a serving of ribs. Yeah, but that serving of ribs should be able to feed like a shit ton of people how big those bears are. But yeah, I understand. They need to make the meat on it, you know, a little bit more realistic. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of meat off of a bear. Especially off of a bear that's probably roughly 1,000 pounds, you're gonna get about you're probably gonna get about 400 pounds of meat, 350 to 400 pounds of meat. Love the auger. It's OP in Xbox One Update 10. Red Tortoise Gaming, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Yeah, because, I mean, the Update 10 is what they considered Alpha 15 for the PC. And I'm glad you guys got it, because once you guys get the new update, which will be Update 11, you guys will want to go back to Update 10 so quickly it'll make your head spin. Yeah, because there's a lot of things with Update 10 or Alpha 15, I should say, that I like. Kimberly McCraw, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Yeah, more if you could try to use other parts and throw out. Yeah, they should also throw out a hell of a lot more leather too, because I mean you can get a lot of skin off of a good-sized brown bear. Oh, you're cold? Cold? Could not sleep? What's up, Chicken Dumplings? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you again. Come on, stop it. Dang it, Pecky. And dang it, Pecky. Dang it, Becky. Let me smash. They should add riddles. What do you mean, riddles? Hey, I'm doing pretty good, Chicken. We're just having a good time. What we're doing is I'm mining. I'm trying to gather enough resources to be able to do what I need to do. Also, it's good, quick points to actually get my levels up so I can get concrete. So for the most part, it's actually doing pretty damn well. Oh, rideables. Yeah, the only thing they have for... the only thing that they have that you can actually have for things that you can ride and use is a little one-seater mini bike, and that's about it. Oh, hell yeah, Lady Freedom. You should be able to do a lot with a bear that size. Oh, Red Tortoise Gaming was Justin subscribing. Awesome, Sammy. Thank you. Thank you, Justin. Shit. Whoa, what the fuck? Hey, what's going on up there?
Nothing, I got it.
Don't worry about it. I got it. Maybe being the zombie bear, the decay factors in ruins a lot of meat and hide. Well, that one wasn't a zombie bear. You can't get actually edible meat from a zombie bear, but you can get hide. Couldn't tell you, Breaking Benjamin. That's just what they have it programmed for. That's what they have it set to. I couldn't tell you. Have Hank Hill say they were the chosen one. Bobby, damn it. Bobby, get back to your room and clean it. I have the high ground. Yeah, that was a little close. You should be able to take trophies. Oh, that'd be cool. I'm back. Love your videos. Cool, not a problem. Thank you. Thank you, cool dude. What game? Oh, this is 7 Days to Die. It's a really cool zombie survival game. Or horror survival game, I should say. More than just zombies in this game. There's a bunch of other things. Weird, crazy-ass creatures, too. Yeah, that was great, yeah. You've merely adopted the propane. I was born into it, molded by it. I didn't see a charcoal briquette until I was a man. Alright, what do we got else here? Oh shit, this is a big vein. We're gonna go get the big vein. But yeah, the reason that I'm digging this out for what it's worth is just the fact that this is a lot of iron to get. And I'm very happy with this. Normally I'm having to get iron from the rocks, which I have no problem getting them from those round rocks, because you do get things like potassium nitrate. You also get charcoal from it too, or coal, and you can use that to make gunpowder. All right, so we have 14 points now. We were going to do concrete mixing. I can now make concrete. Your friend River muted herself. I think River muted herself.
I don't think she's been talking.
What was that?
Oh.
Sorry,
Oh,
I had to go make some chicken nuggets.
Ah, understandable. Ooh, chicken nuggets.
Yeah, if only they were for me.
Cool dude, you subbed a couple days ago, bub. Pretty sure it popped up on the screen then. But of course, if you don't have your subscriptions open to the public, it will not show up on screen. So what you have to do is you actually have to go back to your channel, and there is a little cog right next to your own subscribe button, and it says make your subscriptions either public or private. Exactly. Privacy settings set to public. See, Breaking Benjamin is very helpful. Yeah, don't worry, I got this, shoots everybody. Yeah, just fucking just lays into everybody. What's going on up there? Nothing, don't worry, I got it. Yeah, my chat is now pissed because you didn't make enough chicken nuggets for everybody. Aren't you guys pissed off? Aren't you guys angry? Show me your rage. Show me that chicken nugget rage. Thank you, cool dude. Thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. See, there you go. It popped open. There you go. That's good shit. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, see, yeah, she got it. She's open now. It's good. Oh god, this is gonna get real hairy real quick, so fuck it. My friend once ordered 100 McNuggets and it was only like 16 bucks. I remember the most food I ever ordered, and it was back when they were doing the 39-cent cheeseburger things over at McDonald's. And I was ordering for a party, and I called ahead of time and ordered $200 worth of those hamburgers. It was glorious. Be more pissed if it was hot ranch wings. Oh yeah. Oh, I love me a good hot wing. God damn it, give me those nuggets. Bobby, I'm gonna kick your ass. Yes.
Getting back at you.
This is what it's like for being married for 10 fucking years. Ah!
Revenge of the Tigress.
Dalton Smith, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Hey, what's up, Clayton Smith? How you doing, buddy? Motherfucker. Goddamn Tiger's always getting me back.
9mm?
Have at.
So 25, and I'll split them in two if somebody else wants some.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I put a nipple on a bottle of Frank's Red Hot sauce and drink it. It's like some people like...
There.
On some people's days, they're like, hey, can you pass me a Pepsi? It's hot. Or pass me a Coke. I'm like, pass me a bottle of Frank's Red Hot sauce.
Sweet.
That, yes, chicken and dumplings. Like that is my picture. That is a picture of me.
Undead versus undead.
Alright, goddammit. Alright, guess we digging. I have a feeling this is not going to end well. Either this is going to end well, or this is not going to end well. Because I'm basically just digging out all the stuff around. Oh, There you go. I thought you got it from Google. No, that's me. That is me, good sir. I took that picture. Or I should say Tigers took it for me. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, Charlie. Because I have to go push to talk too, or I will start over talking in her stream, and then she'd be over talking in my stream as well. So it's one of those things where you have to do the push to talk thing, because if not, things start going awry really quickly. Jesus Christ. I heard finding Bigfoot's a little scary too. I've seen Mini Lad play it. What's up, Kevin? I mean, not Kevin. Why did I say Kevin? Levi. Levi, son of a bitch. Yeah, for pistol stuff, all they have is 9mm for right now. Well, in 44 Magnum. They do have a 44 Magnum in here. I did not serve. The closest I ever actually becoming into the service was when I got out of high school in 2000. I tried to go into the Marine Corps with a buddy of mine. During phase 2, in boot camp, my gallbladder and thyroid took a shit on me, and so I was washed out. Basically medically washed out. So that's the closest I ever got. And that's okay. That sucks. I mean, I tried my damnedest, but you can't help it. It's not like I was like saying, I can't handle this, I can't take this. No, absolutely freaking loved every moment of it. It's just for some odd reason, my body just couldn't handle it. I mentally loved the stress. I lived in it. Absolutely just, I wish I was able to serve. I really do. But my body said, no, you can't, son.
Which that explains why you married me.
Yeah, there's a reason why I love mental anguish.
Yep.
Because Tigers is like a drill instructor. "7 years on a hotshot crew." Hey, a hotshot crew's still pretty tough, man. But no, I'm very grateful for anybody that's ever served or anybody that is currently serving. God bless you all, and thank you for everything you've done for protecting my freedoms and giving me the opportunity to do stuff like this, because in many other places I would not be able to. Charlie Noodles, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. I am always very grateful to be an American, because you know, a lot of people say, you know, they're always, you know, people complain about the things that they have or things that they don't have. I'm glad to be born in a country to have the freedoms that I do. And that's the truth. I am very grateful. I am exceedingly lucky. You know, I don't have a lot of luxuries that many people do, but I'll tell you what, I'm doing better than most of the people in the goddamn world. Yeah, the closest thing you got was Modern Warfare 3. Tigress is married. She's married to me. We've been married 10 years. Hey, what's up, Rastius? Blood Eagles for everybody, because Rastius is in the house. Yeah, thank you kindly, Ross. So yeah, that's one of the things I have planned for as this channel grows, is that I'm going to be trying to work extensively with a lot of armed forces, things that even armed forces do, like say the Marine Corps does stuff for Toys for Tots. I'm going to try to do as much stuff as I can this Christmas season with Toys for Tots and the Marine Corps, to do stuff to show my appreciation and help them out. I want to be able to do things for the Wounded Warrior Foundation. I want to bring things to light, like PTSD, because a lot of guys that do come home don't have wounds that you can see, and PTSD is no freaking laughing matter. It's something that even a cousin of mine suffered for quite some time. He saw some shit when he was over. He still serves. He's in the Army. I believe he's a warrant officer now. But I want to try to do as much as I can for the people that have done a lot for me, and that's the least I can do. Your uncle was in the Marines? Awesome. Now, see, my grandfather and his brother were in the Marines, and they were the biggest influence in my life. They helped raise me right. Let's just say that. And let's just say nothing's harder on you when you got a grand uncle that he had served from 43 to 72, and during 58 to 64. He was a drill instructor. So I remember growing up, and if I fucked up real bad, I would get a smoke session and knife hands like you wouldn't believe. And so that was one of the reasons why I decided to go into the Marine Corps, or try to get into it, because I've experienced some of that mindset, because my uncle never cut me any slack. But he was one of those guys that if you did what you're supposed to do, and you learned, and you were just, you know, on your game, he would give you the shirt off his back. And, you know, I still think about that guy from time to time. He said he was a great influence in my life. Married for a year, about to have my first kid. Super excited. Well, congratulations, Clayton. See, we got a lot of people in here that have served in armed forces, and that's another thing, too. A lot of armed forces that are from around the world, I do appreciate, too. Because you got to think, I mean, you're risking a lot to stand up for your country and their ideals and stuff, and defend it from evil. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, you gotta have some balls doing that, and I'm very appreciative. All right, we got to keep that thing going. We're gonna keep that thing rolling. I need to be able to make a workbench, and I think I actually have everything for a workbench. I need to make a hammer. Oh no, I have a hammer right there because I don't really need it anymore. I do have a wrench. Let's see, workbench. Okay, so I have a wrench, I have a hammer, 20 mechanical parts, 25 forged iron. Oh, actually, I have everything. Let's get the forged iron and mechanical parts and the wrench and this hammer, and I'll put this up for the time being because I don't want my nail gun taken. Oh, actually, I don't want my other thing taken out. So we're gonna build a workbench too. Craft that son of a bitch. We got that going. Hell yeah. Mom's dad brought her entire Korean family to America from the Korean War. Holy shit, that's pretty damn cool. See, and it's great. I mean, you get some really interesting stories about where people have come from and what people have done. Yo, what's up, Killer Bee? How you doing? This game is Xbox One. No, it isn't, Greg. It's PC, buddy. What's up, Kyle? Welcome back. Patrick Pepper, how you doing? You just started playing this game. I love. How long have you been playing this game? I have almost 500 hours into it. Tigers has about the same. So yeah, combined we have almost 1,000 hours. We're almost close to it. Exactly, Breaking Benjamin. Exactly. And Vividly, how you doing? So Vividly, good to see you. Thank you for the comment about your about the Korean family and stuff. That's pretty damn cool. Oh, yeah, the game is on Xbox One, but this is being played on PC. Chicken Dump, no, this is not on 360, good sir. I know you fucking with me now. At least I've never heard of it, including people, let alone the Coast Guards. Well, hey, I mean, working on a hotshot crew is still pretty tough. I mean, regardless if it's in the service or not. I mean, if it's in the service, I mean, that's cool. But I mean, working on a hotshot crew, it's not tough. Hard work should always be rewarded. And speaking on that, hold on, give me just a moment. I need to use the bathroom real quick and grab some water. I'll be right back.
I really hope that zombie bear's gone. Yay, zombie bear's not there.
Yay!
Boom, headshot! Boom, headshot!
Snake. Hey, River, do you have... Are you anywhere... Oh, I don't know. Maybe I can get it.
Woo! Back teeth were floating on that one, guys. Thank you for you guys being so patient. You always got to take a little bit of a break just to kind of stretch out, use the bathroom, and get something to drink. Especially if you talk as much as I do. Holy shit, my voice gets a little parched after a time being. Guess what? We got the workbench. Wait, grab the painting. We don't need a fucking painting. Set that shit down. Oh, because I'm standing in it, that's why. Pow! And then we can put that painting back up on there. What the hell?
I has more eggs, so we can make more bacon and eggs.
So how do we turn a
Yay.
picture again?
How do what?
Is it the left click?
Oh, you hold down R.
Ah. See, that's
Or
another thing
rotate,
that they've done
makes
too.
sense.
Yeah, they've there you go. Awesome. Someone subscribe or using the bathroom. Oh shit. Well, let me check real quick. Let me give them a little shout out. Oh, okay. It's L2K. Oh, it's L2K Splash Gang. Nice. Welcome. Thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Just when you think you could survive and get away in a pisser. Don't forget, everything matters. Your life matters. Porkins' life matters. My life.
Killed on your stuff.
Yeah, I heard it too. Oh, I made a workbench though. It's in my little side shop.
Hey.
Yes, I did. It was L2K.
look at
It was
that.
L2K Smash. So thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon, L2K Smash. L2K, let me smash. I think it's a screamer.
Yep.
I hope they can put sanity just like starvation mod. No. Keep that sanity shit out. Keep it in frickin' don't starve. They don't need a frickin' sanity mod in this. That is absolutely stupid. That is horrible. That's the last thing you need in this. The sanity mod.
She screamed, damn it.
This game can already be tough as... Oh, fucking me. I'm out of here. I have an entire thing of dogs down inside of my fucking pit.
Oh, lovely.
Like a big amount.
Do you want me to come out there?
Yeah, because I need another gun. I only have 5 shots. Oh, there's even more.
Hold on, real quick. Actually, I'll bring the honey just in case.
Well, I won't be able to kill them all.
I'm coming.
Well, I might just do what I wanted to do earlier. Did you say that like a spammer? Yeah. I just like the way your character's suddenly laughing. Like, oh, that's interesting.
And I broke a leg.
Now I have something different in mind.
For what?
What do you think I'm doing?
You're gonna collapse it on him?
Stop it! Stop it, dog! I need antibiotics.
I got honey. It's coming for me. It ate the grass.
Yeah, it does that. I got mining pups.
You killed them all. I made it just
so.
in time.
Alright, here. Take the honey.
Take the honey. Eat the honey.
Golly,
Thanks,
how
honey.
many dogs were there?
A shit ton. So get them all to get all the
there's
stuff
one
from
down
them.
here. If you want the leather.
Goddamn dogs fucked up all my shit. Them damn dogs fucked up my mine hole. Well, everything's pretty much pop music, Dalton. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, hell, you listen to country music, it's pop country. It really is, and it's starting to even become... I used to make fun of that, you know, if you mix country and rap, you get crap. Guess what? Country and hip-hop mix. Yeah, dog horde. Yeah, you gotta watch out for the dog horde.
The dog was twerking.
Sure was. He was dancing for you.
Yeah, he's like, no, don't cut me.
But yeah, do you see how much iron is in this place? That's why I've been mining it out.
I just need nitrate powder.
I was just taking out buildings again. That gets...
It ain't Johnny Cash no more. That's the damn truth. No more Waylon Jennings and Merle Haggard. Pretty much the last thing we got left is Willie Nelson. That's all we got left. But I'm gonna get it for all this worth, baby. Yeah, for the crossover, country, boot, scootin' boogie. No, I'd have to say go even worse than that. Frickin' Hannah Montana's daughter, Billy Ray Cyrus, for the achy breaky heart shit. Yeah, Willie isn't long for this world, but who knows? The weed could keep him going for years. Hey, what's up, Tick? How you doing? Yeah, we gotta get this. We gotta get this all picked out, and it'll be awesome. There's a tear in my beer. Sorry for being late to view your video. I was playing Last Day on Earth. Hey, that's all right. You're gaming, dude. That's all right. Hey, you're more than welcome to show up anytime you want to. I listen to stuff that makes most people look at me cross-eyed. Well, that's just people with cross-eyes that look at you cross-eyed. Motherfucker, it's dark outside again. Them damn dogs are in my damn hole again. I'm getting sick and tired of that. Them dogs were in whacking off in my tool shed. Very, very drunk, though. Excuse me if I spell badly. You're doing very good. You're doing very well for a drunk person, I might add. So, hats off to you, good sir. I'm just glad I wasn't in there when the dogs showed up, because that would have ended very poorly. I would have been at death number 8. No, 7 or 8. Yeah, 7 or 8, something like that. But for the most part, I'm glad we're able to get all this out. I just wonder how far I'm into this. You might get shut off. Well, don't you got a charger, bub? Well, thank you, Lucas Warner. I thought you already were subscribed, bub. Or did you just show up new to the stream? I do have quite a few Lucases that come in here, though, so I could be mistaken. Yo, what's up, Cal? Welcome back, buddy. Nice. My mining tools are up to level 50. I'm very happy about that. Tell me when's the last time you've seen a 60-something woman listen to Rammstein, Def Leppard, and AC/DC? My mother. But of course, that's the same kind of stuff I listen to as well. I listen to Rammstein, I listen to Def Leppard, I listen to AC/DC. AC/DC is my favorite band. My two favorite bands of all time are Motorhead and AC/DC. I am a, Lemmy Kilminster is God, I'm sorry. Actually, I think my mother's 58. I can't remember exactly, but she's almost there. But yes, yeah, you're old enough to be my mother. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool. You see this older gal just kind of kicking back, this cougarish-looking gal, and you're kind of wondering what she's listening to. Next thing you hear is like, Du hast mich. Like, what? Ich will. Billy Joel made some. Yeah, I like Billy Joel, and I also like Elton John. Elton John made some really good shit back in the day. Listen to just about everything except for rap and country. I like the old country. I don't like the newer country stuff. I would have to say the last good country artist that we had was Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks actually made some. He was that bridge between the newer stuff and the older stuff. But I'm actually happy to say he actually made some pretty decent stuff. Son of a bitch, they're digging out all my stuff and they're causing all this problem. God damn it. Yeah, the first Germans to goose step into France since the 1940s, and even the French were like, if you like this, we will surrender. When are you gonna? Cow, I have a face reveal. You guys have been staring at it for a long time. Not to mention, I have a bunch of pictures pinned on Discord. If you look at the upper left-hand corner of the screen, that's my picture. That is actually my picture. It's been giving you guys a thumbs up since the whole thing. I listen to Ozzy real loud. You know what? I used to like Ozzy Osbourne, but not anymore. The guy is a fraud. He's a fake. He's a phony in the eyes of metalheads. The guy has done so much over the years to his other musicians that it's actually pretty sickening. I used to think highly of him. Then when I start finding out more about him and what his wife Sharon has done to people, oh yeah, they're kind of pieces of garbage now. Oh yeah, it's been staring you right in the face. But yeah, Lemmy Kilminster, oh hell yeah, dude. I mean, I'm not one for drug use. I mean, I used to smoke weed back in the days, but I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. Haven't done it for almost 20 years. But the fact of this, but Lemmy Kilminster used to pound a bottle of whiskey every single day, smoked 2 packs of cigarettes, and used to do speedballs every once in a while. But yet, what killed him at the age of 70? Cancer. No, I can't grow a beard, actually.
I don't want him to grow a beard either.
Yeah. I can't grow a beard. To be honest, a beard. I really can't grow facial hair. It takes me 4 months to grow a 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah, to look like that at 34, Porkins lives life hardcore. Fuck yeah. It's either that or the picture of me eating that big, massive burger. Yeah, Rastius does have the channel beard, but of course, he's a Viking. He's supposed to have the beard. Icebreaker. Nice. You better do face cam so they know it's really you. Well, see, that's the thing. If I tried to do a face cam now, I don't like the way that everything's set up in here. I would actually have to set up in a nice room, because looking at it, be honest, if I had a face cam on me now, I wouldn't watch me. That's how I see it. I'm doing this out of my living room. It's not a good spot to set up. I actually don't have any lighting in my living room, if you can believe that. I actually have to bring lights in from the other room to be able to do certain things. Not to mention, it's a C922 Logitech camera. It's decent, but it's not what I need. It's okay. It's not the type of quality I want to give you guys. I don't want to give you mediocre quality, because why? Everybody gives mediocre quality. I want to give high quality to you guys, because you guys deserve it. You guys deserve the best. And I'm going to keep repeating that. That is my mantra. My subscribers deserve the best. They do not deserve weak sauce shit or mediocre crap. Hang a blanket behind you to block what's there. There's nothing to hang a blanket there. I have nothing. I'm not going to hang a blanket behind me, because once again, that's doing it the crap way. I'm not doing it crappily. I'm not that kind of guy to half-ass shit. I either do it right or I don't do it at all. That's why I am who I am. You either do it right or you don't do it at all. You don't half-ass it. You actually make it look good. One of the things is we're trying to do a few things here in the next year to be able to get stuff done. So, I mean, because to be honest, I've had the camera set up to kind of see what it would look like. And to be honest, it doesn't look good. I would be like, oh, this guy puts out content like this. I actually kind of cringed at myself. And I know that a person can be their hardest critic, but I was like, I don't look that great. I'm going to take the last 2 bacon and eggs, if that's alright.
Do it.
I wish there were 1,000 more people like you, Porkins. Well, I really do appreciate that. I do. It's just, it's tough out there, because I do wander YouTube. I try to look at other people's stuff to see what other people are doing. And to be honest, I'm not trying to knock people, but I think there needs to be more time put into a lot of people's channels, a lot of people's equipment, time spent into it. And the excuse of I don't have the money, I don't have this. I put a lot of hours every single day into this, and I do it for you guys. I don't... If I didn't want to do this for you guys, I would have said hell with it and not even started a channel. There's a reason why I work 18 to 20 hours a day during the week. And then on the weekends, I do 12 to 14 hours of just YouTube stuff, doing things for you guys. I appreciate everything that you guys do. You guys are freaking awesome, and I wanna give you back that much awesomeness with the stuff that I can do with my channel, with my content, with my live streams, because you guys are awesome. Yeah, yes, we need more people like Porkins that try to read all the comments. You're back from your 50-minute nap? Ooh, nap sounds good. Do I have a favorite YouTuber? I do have a couple of favorite YouTubers. One of them is Cryotic. I do like his content. Cryotic was actually one of my driving forces to do a YouTube channel. Shit, I gotta make more stuff. I gotta make more picks. Weaponsmithing, gunsmithing. Actually, I probably need to do a little bit more weaponsmithing. Pete, yes. Hold on a moment. Give me just a moment. What? What'd I do?
I don't know. I was just following along.
It's a rocket launcher.
Level 200.
Holy shit.
It's about to loaded.
Them zombies don't know what's going to hit them. Yeah, we like you, Porkins. Well, I like you too, guys. I freaking love you guys. You guys.
We also got 28 rockets.
Damn, we're gonna be doing. What job do you have? I'm actually a mechanic. I've been a mechanic for nearly 21 years. I'm serious. Many YouTubers run Discord. They pay Discord more attention than they do YouTube. I've left many channels because they ignored YouTube chat. I do have Discord as well, but I don't have it open I mean, I don't keep it open unless I'm using it for, say, because I'm using Discord right now to speak with Tigress and Yibby and River and all that kind of stuff. But to be honest, the YouTube chat means a lot to me right here. This is my window to talk to you guys. Now, after the stream, if you guys want to come join me on Discord, I'll talk to you guys then. I live in Idaho.
He was up until 4:30 this morning talking with people.
Yeah, after the stream, I spent another, like, 4 hours talking with people after the stream. It was freaking awesome. I had a hell of a time last night. So for the people that were actually joining, that were with me last night, just kind of kicking back and relaxing and just talking, I had a hell of a time. It was awesome. Tigress actually works at home. She has her own little side business. Not only that, she is my professional editor.
There's a screamer.
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah, Tigress actually edits everything for my channel. Alright, I'll catch you later, Mad Hatter.
Let me try out the rocket launcher.
Go try it, go try it. Let me go see.
Alright, get back, River. It works on this one.
Yay!
Where's the earth-shattering kaboom? Do it again, I didn't see it.
I need more rockets. So.
We had a couple.
And you fell.
No!
I'm okay, it's just my ass. I landed on my ass.
Alright, here we go. I'm gonna go right below me.
Yeah, the power of the green screen in Photoshop. I'm okay, I fell. Exactly. Come follow me on Discord, and yeah, there will be a chat after this, Golden Wings. I'm always chatting after the stream.
Woo! Do it again! Do it again!
It's just that when streamers pay more attention to Discord while ignoring the YouTube... Yeah, I know. That pisses me off too, Lady Freedom. That pisses me off more than anything. That they don't pay attention to the main chat. Oh, that's better. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm making 2 picks. Fuck it. Hey, Pork. Basically, I finally got Xbox Gold. Can't fucking use it because of $20 is due on my debt. It says you cannot get gold until I pay. Oh, that sucks, Bilbo. Tomorrow I'll actually be streaming this again, but my early stream is going to be the Dying Light. It's going to be a Dying Light and the finale of it. We're actually going to be playing the ending of Dying Light. It's going to be awesome. I hope everybody can come out and check it out. Ooh, I need to put more iron in there.
Well,
actually, wait a moment. I need to put more brass in there. Yeah, I'm glad that works too. Yes, Golden Wings. There's actually a link for it. My moderators will actually drop it for you. Yeah, let's make another 100 of these because we need 100. There you go. Where'd you get an RPG? Tigress found some blueprints for it, and then she's been finding the parts over time, and then eventually just put it together. Yo, what's up, Chris Murphy? How you doing? Alright, there we go. We're going to go back to our mine again. This game is way better than DayZ. I love this game. It, in my opinion, is much better than DayZ. Still got to collapse that mine, though, once we get it all. I will watch you, Dying Lights, Porkins, if I woke up early. What's up, Ferdinando? How you doing, buddy? And welcome, everybody who just joined the stream. How you doing? We're playing 7 Days to Die tonight. We're playing with Caffeinated Tigress and River PB, and also Elkhart. I think he's in here.
No, Elkhart's left.
Oh, when did he leave?
After the second time I had to restart.
That dick.
Yeah.
I got this game and it's awesome. I know, I freaking love it.
Yeah.
What time do your early streams start? My early streams start 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Oh, this is gonna... Those dogs dug all the way fucking in there. Damn. Shit. Yo, what's up, you, not you? How you doing? Quantum Puppy hasn't been around for a while. I don't know where he's at.
Oh, what happened?
I hit a small cave-in. I thought it was small enough to where it wouldn't hurt me, but it did. That's alright.
Uh-oh.
I got squished!
I'm gonna try for this drop this way.
So the don't dig down rule apply. Priscilla C, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Yeah, so the don't dig down rule apply to this game as well.
Dead dog chasing me. He's not making
yes
any
and no.
sounds.
I thought there was enough material that I could get away with it not hitting me, because I had like 4 or 5 blocks hit me and didn't hurt me before. At least I have all my stuff. That's fine. We go get it.
Have you found your candy tins yet?
No, just 2. I'd like 2 more.
I have not found like.
Oh yeah, sub love. Get some sub love there. That's all right. That's what happens when you get I've never had a mine a mine collapse on me, so I kind of wanted to see how it works and what to listen for.
I don't think there's anything to listen for the collapses.
Yeah, slept in, missed the early stream too. Yeah, I love that. I love that sound too. That's one of my favorite sounds. Did you just chop down a tree?
Yes.
Okay, that was really close by to where I was. I thought I hit it when I was coming down the hill. Because as soon as I stepped off the hill and went down, it crashed. Yeah, that was a lot of material that came down. So I'm going to hit it at an angle. Yeah, that was actually, so that was a really cool, like, test. Because I wanted to see what it would do. Ta-da! I moved out of the way so I didn't get my ass squished. Alright. What else are we going to do? Weapon crafting. So yeah, I'm not too worried about dying anymore, because as I said, they're going to keep on updating this game. They're going to keep doing a bunch of things. Ooh, science. Oh no, I have science. I need weaponsmithing and toolsmith. So yeah, so I'm going to have to do weaponsmithing. That's going to be a thing now. Oh, but I know what else I need too. I need some pummel Pete action. And then breaking and entering, that's a good one too. Alright, here we go. Let's start mining some stuff now and get some more things. I won't use Discord. I got way too many programs right now. Another program would just confuse me and make me cry again. You know, the great thing that the reason that they use Discord is actually very low system requirements. It's actually very, it doesn't take much to run it. I'm actually surprised. I thought it was going to be just like, Skype, where it takes a shit ton of system resources. Actually, it's pretty damn cool. Not to mention, it's supposed to be streamer friendly. That's one of the things that they use. All right, catch you later, Stevatron. Thank you for stopping by. I'm going to quote my favorite game. Good night, good luck. Indeed. Good night to you, Brecken. Oh, that's... Why am I hitting that? Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot, but that's okay. We're going to widen this hole out just a little bit. I mean, we're already right here on the edge. I want to see how much this is going to fucking drop shit. I have to do this. What's up, Trippy Sly? Not the system requirements, just I have to learn to use another program. I will show you how to use it, lady. It's not that hard, and I can actually walk you through it if you'd like me to. I could help you after the stream if you'd like. Because I'm that kind of person. I like helping little old ladies across the street.
You're wanting to get your butt beat, aren't you?
I'm going to get my ass kicked. I'm going to die a horrible death. Some of you are going to kick my ass. I'm going to get my ass kicked. Oh, shit. You know, I like doing things like this. I love being destructive to kind of see what this game can do for its destructive abilities. How does Discord work? You need an account or something? Yes, you actually start an account, and it's actually very easy. And it doesn't take a lot of requirements, but you still have to, I mean, set up an account and everything. Use TNT, very easy to make. Yeah, but I don't want to waste the resources. That's the thing. For the and to have it to be to where it's actually useful, you have to actually blow up a few blocks. You actually have to cut in a few blocks and then stick it in there. It's not very effective. TNT is actually better for killing enemies than it is for blasting stuff in this game, which I thought was actually very weird.
Have you guys ever seen Old Greg?
Yep.
My name's Old Greg. I got a mangina.
I'm Old Greg!
I'm Old Greg. I got the funk.
Do you want some Baileys?
You ever drink Bailey's out of a shoe?
This is a picture of Baileys.
Oh, hell yeah. Old Greg is awesome. It's attached to your rod, mother licker. You are far for only day 17. Well, thank you, thank you. You're making a cave be a cool place to fix up. Yeah, but the thing about it is you get a lot of bad guys that come in here. Like, we had the dogs run in here. The dogs that had bees in their mouth. You're going to die by an old lady for the swallow to fly. I don't even have Facebook or MySpace or Twitter. Or whatever those things are called. That's alright, that's not a problem.
I got the goth pants.
Oh,
Golf
I got this.
pants. We're no longer twinsies.
I'll have to find some more.
God damn it! This thing is gonna break. This is like a game of ultimate Jenga. I don't know if I'm gonna win this one. Oh God, this is gonna get. So what do you do? You get to 7. No, you don't win. You just do a little better. Okay, technically it's no longer attached, so what the hell? It's no longer attached, what the hell? Come on, physics, do something! Goddamn physics. If you're in Alpha 16, there's TNT and Dynamite. Dynamite is way better, just a little more effective. Just a little different to make, but way more effective. I am on Alpha 16.1. It's just I haven't had any luck with TNT. Not to mention, I'm going to use TNT for different things. I'd rather use my pick instead of TNT. I don't want to waste the ability to be able to blow up shit in a pinch. This I'm just fucking around. I don't want to use it for fucking around. If I was serious, that's different. Ooh. Clunk. Alright. Got a clunker. I didn't even get this far until about 70 days or more or less. So. Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't fucking around, I would use TNT, but yeah. This game is so unrealistic. I'm trying to figure out, physics-wise, what will work and what will not work. That's one of the things about this. I try to test the game in little different things to see what works, what doesn't work. Like, why won't this do what I asked it to? It should have already fell. Yeah, this thing should have already collapsed. Should have already been in on itself. God damn it. But yes, this is one of the things I like to do. This is why I like to be destructive, because I like to test the systems that this game has. Yeah, you can go around, you can build, you can make shit, but you know what? I like to break stuff. You motherfucker. Yeah, this thing should have already collapsed. It shouldn't be doing what it's doing right now. I mean, do you guys see this? It's literally just kind of hovering. After you dig the dirt, it crumbles and looks like shit. This thing should have fucking collapsed already, and this is aggravating. See, I did the same thing on a building, too. And, the building didn't even really collapse. Come on, babe. Wait a moment. I just made an earth penis. Yo, what's up, Tom? How you doing? No, fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna go up top. I'm gonna go up top. This thing pisses me off. I should be like right here, so guess what I'm gonna do? This thing, I should be this far. I should be way far. Oh God. Oh God! I woke up. I did bad stuff. Thank God I always carry first aid kits. Yeah, earth penis, yeah. How many times you die? I've only died once tonight. And there's a reason for that, is because I was testing out the mining stuff. What's up, Drake? How you doing? Yeah, I've only died about 3 or 4 times this alpha. Out of all the times I've played this game, I've only died 6 times. I've died 5 times on this alpha. So I've died 7 times. What's up, Zedrix? How you doing? Everybody welcome Zedrix to the stream. No, I try to answer as much as possible. It's just, I didn't realize I had a fucking dog I'm trying to chew my ass off. That cunt bobber. Lone Wolf, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Did he fall in this hole? Oh, let him dig. Fuck it. He'll be my Chinese worker. Let him go. Just let him go. Fucking, he's gonna do it. He ignores people. He's antisocial. God damn it, Tom. Don't kill him. Yeah, I'm just letting him do his thing. He's working for me.
I was just curious where he was coming from.
Drake, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Now, see, I'm letting the computer do work for me. Yeah, that's a nice
smart.
cave.
That's what the future's all about.
Exactly. I've already figured out how to do people management in this game now.
He has now become a sim.
Earth Penis, Porkins, 2007, copyright 7 Days to Die live chat. What did you do today, Tom? What did you do? If the dog is a cunt, which is a pussy, so technically a dog is a cat. Possibly. No, you get back up there and work. Get back up there and work. Stop it. Get back to work. Get back to work. Back to work. I will hit you in the dick. Make me hit you in the dick. Thank you.
I tried to find you a pair of pants, but you didn't have them.
There you go.
That sounds bad.
But I bet you I had to go through 2 houses. What? I downloaded and played Destiny 2 beta. Hangs head in shame.
No, that's the big biker dudes.
I'm not mad at you. Yeah, I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. Shit. All right, then. Now, Bobby, you had to learn a little bit different. Now, Destiny said that was going to be a 10-year game. And you know what? It barely lasted 3. They also said that they wouldn't put stuff behind a paywall. What do? They made a full game and put it behind a paywall. Now, you won't be able to transfer over any of your stuff. They have the character classes down to 2 now. They've caused a lot of stuff, and even the game developer said that the game wouldn't be completed even when it came out. So guess what? I think they pulled the wool over my eyes once, shame on you. Pull the wool over my eyes twice, shame on me. It did confirm not to buy those. Same damn game just slowed down. Yeah, they even took the 6x6 multiplayer, and they brought it down to 4x4 because they said 6x6 was too hectic. Which, okay, whatever. So guys can't handle their 6x6, whatever. Sounds like somebody can't handle their iron banana. I almost quit this game once. Yeah, always gotta hit. Oh, you always gotta hit thick things in the dick. Captain Thick Dick. I will make this fucking thing fall. I swear to God, I will. Getting tired of it. This shouldn't be standing. This shouldn't be standing. Fuck it. I'll just go in here. If it collapses on me, fuck it. So how'd you almost quit the game once, Drake? How'd you do that? Do you know when Alpha 16 has come to PS4? No, I do not, Lone Wolf. That is something that's all in the fun pimps. You guys technically have Alpha 15, what we had before. So basically, when we get Alpha 17, you'll get Alpha 16. You have one hater just like, give me money, I was laughing. Make another Earth penis. What game are you talking about? Destiny 2. Destiny 2, unfortunately, is a big fucking mess right now. And it's, I mean, the first game had promise, and I even played it for a little bit. But then I found out what was going on, and then all the little things that happened. I mean, come on, it's a game that was supposed to have a lot of story based around it. Didn't even have that great of a story. They had a lot of issues on a lot of different areas, but yeah, they've dumbed down Destiny 2. It is nothing even like... If you thought the original game was fun, it's nothing like the original game. And if you thought the original game was horrible, it is worse than the original game. Alright, I'll catch you later, Lady Freedom. You have a good night. By the destruction of everything, your first two houses? Oh, you did that kind of stuff? Alright. Fuck it. Wait a moment. Wait, I had this and this, so we gotta do this. Alright, we're gonna dig this out, fuck it. If this fucking breaks, I'm gonna be upset.
Funny.
Because but I mean, like everything else broke out. The strike is the same shit we did in Destiny 1, bullet sponge boss, random trash, no mechanics. Yeah, not to mention they close off certain things after a certain amount of time, which is really stupid. They're actually trying to also model the game towards Major League Gaming, too. So it's like, what is it? Is it a MMO? Is it a shooter? What is it? So they really don't even have a define for it. You know, the computers are men and women depending on what gender you are, because you have to turn them on if you want them to do anything. Mine must be pretty easygoing, because it's always on. I swear to God, this thing is going to cause me to have a fucking heart attack. No, it's not going to cause me to have a heart attack. It wasn't even, didn't even play it then, bought it, but couldn't play it. It was unplayable for 360. Yeah, I originally bought it for the 360, and then it said, if you own it, if you bought a digital copy for the 360, you can move it over to the X1. So fine, moved it over to the X1. It felt absolutely horrible. I just stopped playing it. I only played it for about 3 months. And yes, Fredorando is right. Fredorando is right on so many levels. Gotta get that iron ore. It's all about that iron ore. But I think we might be actually good with the iron ore for right now. You know, I really want to just... God damn it. Stop it. You know, I'm going to leave this mine hole for right now. This is them. I'm going to leave mine hole for a while. Yeah, this just grinds my gears. I'll tell you what. Nope. God damn it. The fact that I can unbury all this is actually pretty damn cool. I like this. If you just dig just deep enough into the side of the earth, it actually causes all this to crumble, which I have no problem with. Saw Destiny 2 is stupid. No more sniper. Yeah, no more sniper. Is no special ammo. Heavy is same for shotgun. Yeah, they moved the sniper rifle and the shotgun to heavy. How is a fucking shotgun heavy? You mining for diamonds? Possibly. No, I'm actually mining out iron, and then also I'm trying to see if I can make this fucking cave collapse. Because I like to know how the physics works in this game. I've destroyed quite a few things. And Tigers has been, has seen this. Now, see, look at that. That should be collapsing since it is sand, because the sand can't even hold its own weight up. Yes, sniper, shotgun, and fusion or heavies. That is one of the craziest things. Really? I'm thinking, like, why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? But now I'm actually getting down to, this is all like iron now. What the fuck? I wasn't iron. Watch it. I hit it, it'll be iron. Yeah, see, all this shit should have just started falling. But once again, it's not. If Porkins knows one thing is holes and transmissions, I suppose. Transmissions, yes. How about the transmission of holes, or whole transmission? Hey, I love working as a mechanic. I mean, what at any job that you can tell your wife that you can hang out with 2 dirty hookers and a tranny and not get in trouble? I mean, that's just how I feel. All we did was gather resources and made TNT and place it down about 500, so we made a huge hole in the middle of town with one nerd plug in the center. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, see, that's the way we kind of play this game is we have certain roles that we play out, and we kind of role play them out a bit. We don't try to do a whole bunch of like stupid shit that would kind of game the system. Needless to say, it didn't go well. I did that with Minecraft back when it came out on a Xbox 360. A buddy of mine spent about 2 months mining that out completely, and then we left one layer of blocks up on top, so it looked like nothing was wrong. It was just still there. And then what we did was we filled up everything with TNT, and we left a small button in the middle of the map at 00. And it's with a sign that says "Do not press." Well, every time that you press the button, it would lock the server up and kick you out of it. It was actually pretty fun. Oh, we got more dirt. Yep, I hear the horde out there.
I'm out treasure hunting.
Okay.
Alright. Now, what do I need for a cement mixer? Actually, let's go look. Let's go see what a cement mixer. Cement mixer. What do I need? Actually, forged iron, spring, small engine, mechanical parts. Wow, actually, I already have all those. So, spring, iron, mechanical parts, and engine. Alright, we'll use this one right here. Spring and mechanical parts. Alright, we're going to start making concrete, folks. This is going to be interesting. Hell yeah! What's the worst way to die in this game? God, I've died by dogs, I've died by a cave-in, I've died by poison. I think dry drowning in this game is the worst thing you can actually die by because it's stupid. Kind of worried about World War II zombies. They're not going to be a point system. I've given up on Call of Duty a long time ago. I am not going to pick that game up or play it ever again. I've lost all faith in it. It makes me feel bad because I have lost faith in it. I won't play it. It's nice that when you have friends that you can actually play games like this. I know, especially when one of them's your wife. That's the best part. Getting to play with your wife. Wait, that sounded weird. When you're halfway across the map, you get off your mini bike to grab something and get bum rushed, then both your back and pike are yeah, that can be a bit distraught too. The stupid deaths are kind of crazy in this one. So the dry drowning one is very stupid, where you actually go underneath the water, and if you come back out quick enough, what happens is it still thinks you're underwater. So you're walking along, it doesn't show the meter that you're losing oxygen, but then your health starts going down really quick and you actually drown. What's up, Gessa? How you doing? Or Jessa, I should say. Dying by eating glass, that's worse. Too bad you can't drink bleach in this game.
What's a good skill for digging?
Minor 69er. I need a meat stew. There we go. That is devious trolling, Porkins. I approve. Yeah, that's... Yeah, when the game fucks with you like that, that's pretty much what happens. You're like, son of a bitch! Alright, what else do I need? Shit, I need to build another... I'll take these again. I'm going to have to build another iron pickaxe. Another shovel. Actually, no, I have a... No, I didn't have another pickaxe. Son of a bitch.
It's Heck Pika.
Loving the chair art installation. Oh, yes, that is actually... We call that the Gladstone wall. That is what we do. That is the Gladstone wall. Due to our infamous buddy that loves chairs that comes in. And how you doing, Dragonfly? I'm doing pretty good, Heck Pika. How you doing? Ooh, my cement mixer is done. I can now make cement.
Yay! Because there's some holes in the wall over there.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Alright, we're going to do cement now because we can actually build it. Let's build as much as we can. Now, cement takes a long time to build a very short amount of stuff. Can I call you Pork and Beans? Yeah, you could. Doing well. Thanks for asking. Glad you're having fun. I'm always having fun. Funny shit that ever would really be cool. I love how I would have done. Loved to something like that. As big Minecraft player as well as been on the same server for about a long time. Yeah, on 7 years on the same Minecraft server. Holy shit, that is dedication, sir. But yeah, it was a labor of love to have fun with. And then we also messed around with like with a lot of the redstone switches and everything like that. We actually got bored, and it took us a month to build a toaster that actually made toast eject up into the air, and then it would come back down and reset, and then it'd pop back up in the air if you pressed the button. It took about a 30-second respawn time, but it would shoot the toast up 30 blocks into the air, and then it would come back down in the toaster. It was really cool. So yeah, it's just stupid little stuff like that. Like, you guys built a toaster that shot toast in the air? Yeah. Not to mention we did some pixel art of a vagina, and then we made a roller coaster go through the center of it. And then it looks like it had a waterfall squirting water, so you'd pass through it. We called it the squirter. Like, come on, let's go ride the squirter! Oh yeah, the mini bike is so much faster to get around. It is very nice. I do love the mini bike.
Almost got the stuff to make a mini bike.
I say landmines in the burnt forest and get an army camp with a... Oh yeah, with that. Yeah, the little things like that, yeah, they can get you in trouble around there too. They put mines like in random places now too. And those can be really difficult and like... Oh, wait a moment. What do we got here? Oh, he had wood on him. Nice, I'll take that. Me and my son are rolling in our chairs. So yeah, we've built some stupid stuff on Minecraft, but it was fun. Yeah, you can also drown if you get a bandana, if you have a bandana on, and every once in a while it'll glitch out and smother you. Oh yeah, it'll do that. It'll definitely do that. I've seen that happen. It's stupid. It's funny, but it's stupid. Also, the hordes in this one are really weird because I've seen them like go in and out of the water all the time. You still want that Wii from the State of Decay stream? I don't think I remember that particular one. Oh, from the other day? Nah, I don't need a Wii, man, but thank you. I got... Hey, how you doing, Squishy Miner? Yeah, he had wood. So, I mean, pretty much, I'm just gathering. Now I'm getting these rocks because you can also get nitrate powder out of them, and as well as coal. And I can use that to make gunpowder because we're in real need of it. Because gunpowder is life. It is love. And now you can't use gunpowder to build up your gun-making ability either. And that's the thing. Everything all has a skill wall to it now. That's the big difference. There's no longer doing skills to level them up. I don't get the rad zone in this game, especially since we can't get a useless radiation. Well, the radiation zone's supposed to be a soft wall. You're not supposed to go out there. That's technically the end of the level. You're not supposed to go out there. That's why it kills you. Even though it looks like you can go out there and do stuff, you technically can't. That's why you're not supposed to go out there. It's saying, hey, don't go out there. It even explains it in the little bit of story that they have for this, that Navezgane is the only place in the world that doesn't, that isn't radiated for some odd reason. It's part of some sort of ancient tribal lore. So yeah, if you try to step out of the boundaries of Navezgane, you'll die due to the radiation. The radiation suit, actually, right now, is only supposed to be for looks and armor. Then also, there is some radiation things that you'll be coming across inside of, like, nuclear bases and all that kind of stuff, which require, actually, a suit so you don't get irradiated. It's got mild levels of radiation. So, to answer your question on that. How much longer we stream? I'll probably be streaming for about at least an hour. I'll probably go 4 hours tonight. What the fuck? Dig. Thank you. When I'm going around, I'm trying to find these type of rocks. Because these type of rocks up here are actually what I need. They're going to give me the stuff that I need to build, make gunpowder. No squishy miner. I will never do Minecraft on this stream. I'm not a Minecraft channel, and I will not do that. Have I ever played Rust? Yes, I have, chicken. I've played Rust quite a few times. It's just hard to find a good server to be able to run, to do Rust on. I am looking to do, however, I do have a server that I actually spend money on. For the most part, that I'm looking to just to keep that server running. I do need to get enough spots to be able to make a Rust server, which requires 20 spaces open. Well, thank you, Johnny Toucan. What's up, Rosano? How you doing? Welcome back. Welcome both of you back. Once again, chicken, I won't be able to do a Rust stream because can't find a good enough server to get on there. There's a reason why only certain people do Rust is because it takes a lot of time to do setup for Rust. Did watch Markiplier try to do Rust a couple times, and it took him 4.5 hours to do a 30-minute video. Yeah, this game is full of death and misery. Yes, it is. Racy is like, I need hot wings and ass, stat. More on the hot wings, though. What's the Discord? Oh, Racy just posted Discord right there in the chat. If you guys want to join my Discord, I'll be on after the stream. I get on, I talk with people. Sometimes we play games. It's really fun. I suggest you get on there and we'll hang out. We'll have a good time. What is this game about? This is a horror survival game. Dealing with the zombie apocalypse, how the world blew itself up. And you're just trying to survive. That's what it's all about. And also Hokey Pokey, too. How do you join Discord? Click on the link. Just click that link. Or tap it if you're using a tablet. Ow. It's also a pack rat's dream. Yes, Grumpy MC. Oh yeah, if you're a pack rat, this game is freaking awesome. It is all about the prime loot. Some of my neighbors are moving, but the new people who are moving in have 4 daughters. So that's an instant good thing. Ah, you're after the neighbor's daughter, I see. It's a horror and a survival game. Wink, wink, yes. It's got a lot of holes in it. A lot of loose holes. So what did you guys, for the people that showed up, what you guys think of Mafia 3? Because I would like to be able to finish that game out. I know that Dying Light will be finished up tomorrow. I need to kind of something to fill it for right now. I figure I'd finish up using Mafia 3 for the time being. Yeah, that's one weird pickaxe. Yeah, it's just a standard iron pickaxe. It only has one side. You're a dagger in the dark, huh? More Mafia 3. Yeah, because I love Mafia 3. The game's pretty damn fun. I really enjoy it. You didn't get to watch it, Daddy? Ah. Ooh, we should be getting plenty of that. We should be getting plenty of nitrate and coal, because we need that to be able to make gunpowder, and we shall have a bunch of gunpowder by the time everything's said and done. Not to mention I need the rocks as well. The rocks are going to come in handy for when I'm doing a shit ton of concrete. Yes, yes, Cal. We've been married for 10 years. Yeah, we're old. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Mafia 3 is a very underrated game. A lot of people didn't give it a chance. Sure, it's not a polished stone, but it's still a very good game to play. You always have the worst luck. I never get what I need, and when I do, I die. I can't remember to get it back. Now, some servers don't have the ability to show the backpack when you die. That I do know. That just all depends on who is running the server and what they have going for it. What the hell? This is... Oh, see, this is right here. This right here is another marker indicator that tells you that there's ore veins around here. This is one of the marker indicators that they just recently put in the game to tell you, hey, there's some stuff down here you can mine. You should get it. And it's also said it's a really good pocket to get a really good quick amount of rocks and sand. And I do like that, because rocks and sand are really good. All right, you're going to head on out, Kimberly. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you can come on out. I'm going to knock on the door, but naked, and they will instantly fall for me, and they see my naked body. You know, I tried to do the same thing, too, and I've had a lot of laughter and a lot of cop calls. You know, a lot of people say Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 are tough. I don't see that. It's one of those games you really kind of methodically have to think things out and have really good and I mean, besides having good reaction times, you also need to act. You need to know a lot about what you're fighting and what you're going up against. It's one of those games that research is required. I don't like saying it's rough, of course it gets everywhere. Yeah, I know, you can also make pearls between your butt cheeks. Yeah, and I heard Bloodborne is actually freaking awesome. That's a game I wouldn't mind trying out. I wouldn't mind doing a Bloodborne stream. Yes, chicken, I have. Quite many a times, to be honest. Well, I should be bringing back a lot of nitrate powder here soon.
Good.
Oh, well, thank you, Merkellen. Actually, Mafia 3 was this morning. Oh, yeah, it was yesterday for you. I forgot. You're on the other side. You're across the pond, if I remember correctly. Skyrim does have a bit slower pace than, say, Fallout 4. I still find it enjoyable for me. I used to, Johnny, but then you had things like, you know, slaps are but hugs that sting, and restraining orders are another way of saying I love you. So yeah, I don't do that anymore. No, what I like to do is I find people that go around and try to give candy to kids in van, and then I find out what kind of candy they have, and then I strip down naked, tie myself up, and throw myself into the van. And that usually deters, sexual predators coming into the neighborhood. Forged with fire? I'll have to check that out, Fredorando. Oh shit, I actually walked right by him. I didn't even really notice him. Yes, actually I played both of those. I actually have a partial playthrough of Dead Island. Since my computer is actually really good to be able to record and get past a lot of the fucked up stuff. The bug part with Dead Island.
This treasure brings us 75 silver nuggets, 18 gold nuggets, 3 raw diamonds, and over 13,000 casino tokens.
Nice.
Yay!
But yes, you can actually go check out on my channel. I've been doing a playthrough of Dead Island for a while. And tomorrow I'm actually going to start re-recording some more Dead Island.
What can you do with diamonds in this game?
Trader.
Yep, pretty much.
Thought I heard a pig snort.
And now there's a horde coming out of the water at me. That's cool.
What about chicken nuggets? What about the chicken nugget stuff? Yeah, I like the people that do like really cool runs on the Dark Souls game. Like I like how the fact that somebody had rigged up their Guitar Hero guitar to play Dark Souls and then beat the game with it. And then there's the one guy that in Dark Souls 3, he didn't dodge, and he didn't use any armor, and he used just the weakest sword, and beat the game that way. Oh shit! Fucking that. See, that just fucking scared me. That's what will get you. It's those little. That's what scares you. Like horror games don't scare me, but the fact that that thing just snuck up on me without me hearing it, and then nearly got me, that's scary as shit. Yes, it is Cameron. That is my picture up in the upper left-hand corner. That is me being my goofy fucking self. Alright, I'll catch you later, Drake. Thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope to see you again one day. I don't know what you're talking about. My fidget spinner is my penis. It's gonna eat my ass!
Hey, River.
Yes.
It looks like it's
What's your
alive.
favorite color?
Green.
Darn it. I found a blue hoodie. I thought you might like it.
I would love it. I think blue suits River more too.
Yeah.
God damn it. Alright, I'll catch you later, Johnny Toucans. You killed Porkins? Yeah, I killed myself. Isn't that meta as fuck? Yeah, back in your day you had pet rocks, so there's not much to talk. Yeah, when I was a young kid, we had well, I wouldn't say young, but I remember in the early 90s they had when I was like, what was it, 92, they had the Tamagotchis. I was 10 years old at the time, so that'll do, pig, that'll do.
Hi, Dr. Funk.
It's Dr. Funk in the house. What's up? Everybody love Dr. Funk, man. He's always getting the funk on. Damn, this guy's got a bunch of stuff back here. He's got a bunch of these rocks. Too bad that my pick's fucked. Didn't have a Furby. Didn't have one of those. But I actually, for some odd reason, actually I do have one now. I don't know why.
Because of me.
Yeah, she's got a Furby because of that. Not really, because between work and then doing YouTube full time, I don't get really much time to work out, which is actually I should. That should be no fucking excuse. I should at least go for like an hour a day. I really need to. And I've made some poor choices in the past few years, and yeah, I'm not in the greatest of health. Wish I could say I was, but I'm not. Hey, that's what you get for being honest. I am a fat piece of shit. But we're gonna bring this clay back. We need the clay. Clay is good. I can actually the other day my max bench press I can still do 360. That's my max right now. I can, yeah, because I was checking what it was about a couple months ago, what my max bench press was, to see if I could still do it. Because when I was younger, when I was in my youth, when I used to box and wrestle, my max bench press was about 450. But I can still do 360 pretty well, and I don't work out really. I've always been innately strong. I'm built like a goddamn full-size dwarf. Oh, it's a Missy Deluxe raid! Welcome! Welcome, guys! Welcome to the stream. How you guys doing? Mr. Orange, Crystal Anders, hold that. Christina Rosebud. Grindler Gaming, what's up? Yeah, we are being raided. Holy shit, guys. Country Boy, 7484, welcome everybody. Missy Deluxe is in the house. You beautiful woman, you. We are getting raided. I'm sitting here digging a goddamn hole like Ed, Ed, and Eddie, and I'm sitting here getting raided. Dig a hole, Eddie, dig a hole. Well, god dang it, I forgot to get some proper enough propane. I would have done that and turned on the grill and start making steaks. Now remember, if you guys want a steak, if it's anything more than medium, I'm going to ask you nicely to leave the house. Crystal Anderson, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Oh shit, what do we got here? Oh shit, nope, I fucked up. I fucked up. There you go. We're going to squish a motherfucker right here. Bam! Yeah. Ow! You! I told you wait your turn. God dang it, Peggy, let me smash. Peggy won't let me smash. She'll let John Redcorn smash, but John Redcorn is a hoe. It's sub love for everybody. How you guys doing? Country Boy 7484 Gamer, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Give that like spike up there too, man. What's up, Jason? How you doing? And Shankara, nice. Yep, oh, look at that. She's twerking that booty, that full-size booty. My God. I just want to bury my face down in it and go, boah. So how you guys doing this evening? I think I ran into a partial horde. Can I get a pork with my meal? Yes, you can, Fredorando. Hell yeah, Missy. Awesome. Jason is the husband? Oh, so that's Mr. Deluxe. Yeah, you killed J-Lo. That's all right. I get down on J-Lo. I don't care if I killed J-Lo. It's still warm, so it's technically not necrophilia. But of course, if you look at the time, it is Necro Bestial Butt Sex Day, so that's cool. JR Falcon, what's up? Just sub, keep it going, man. Good job. Thank you. Thank you for the love, Grindler Gaming. How you doing, man? Shankara, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Well, thank you kindly, Missy Deluxe. I am very grateful. Thank you. 6 minutes past bedtime. It is not 6 minutes from my past your bedtime, but if it's past your bedtime, I will catch you later there, Tick. Blah, I can't even talk. I am so ecstatic. I am over the goddamn moon right now. Hey, what's up, Mobile Gamer? Welcome back, buddy. Alright, I gotta start putting some stuff up. I end up getting a bunch of things that I needed for making, I can't even think. For making my, concrete. That's exactly what I was doing. I was in the process of making concrete.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Oh, why didn't I put this up? Oh, yeah, I found all that and that. Yeah, yep, she twerking the booty. She's shaking it like her mama made it. Doing awesome, thank you much. Well,
I'm gonna head to the
hey, I'm glad you're doing pretty good, man. I'm glad you're doing awesome. I'm having a great night. What's up, Jack the Smack? How you doing? Thank you all so much for helping me with the raid. Hey, thank you all for helping Missy Deluxe. Not only coming over here and showing me some love, but showing Missy Deluxe some love. I'm glad that you guys have really helped her channel grow. She's got some excellent content. I wanted to return the favor. Well, thank you kindly. I promise I will return the favor one of these days myself, so keep your eye open, but of course I love surprises. God damn it. I always keep moving shit over when I don't need to. Oh, I got a can of salmon? I got 2 cans of salmon. Hell yeah, 2 cans. 2 can. No, that's not where I want to go. Get in the goddamn proper hole, son of a bitch. Alright, catch you later, Crystal Anderson. And good night to everybody that's heading on out. I love your channel. Just hit the like button. Indeed, if you guys came on in here and just showed me some love, hell, give that like and just beat the, just do whatever you want, man. Just give that like, subscribe, and notification button some hell. I'll be glad you did. Thank you so much for some love. What? I know you got a sniper rifle. I'm used to seeing you with one all the time.
But I just got it.
I know. It's so happy. You're so happy.
Yeah.
You're so happy. Well, now we won't have to worry about any sort of deaths on Zombie Night, because now that Tigress has her sniper rifle, nothing within about a 500-meter range is going to be able to come within the circle. I did find some more meat.
Yay! Yay!
We got coffee, we got beer. And I know, Race-Disk, you're like, someone said beer. Yes, said beer. Oh, that's what I need. I need a t-shirt. Do we have any t-shirts in here?
Look in the trader box.
Oh, I'll take a white football jersey. Fuck it. We can do this. Because what I can do is I can put on the oh yeah, I look fucking sexy there. Put on that. Put on my hide armor. Should be good. Gives me a +3, which is not bad, because I didn't want to overheat myself. My boyfriend Justin wants to know, how do you obtain your base? Well, what we did was we actually found it on one of our random generated seed, and it had this town that had this really cool hotel in it. I mean, come on, why wouldn't you take over this hotel and make it into a really good foundation? I mean, it's got a massive water source. We're building a small garden right up here on top. Not to mention, there's more stuff that's going up here up on top that we're going to be putting up here. We got the barrels up here. I'm pretty sure that we can put more of a garden up here and maybe even extend it out a little bit more. It's one of those things that it's a really good base to start with. And it's also, with the fence around it, the fence actually helps make it very defensible. Well, thank you very much, Missy Deluxe. Thank you for stopping by out here. Thank you. How long will I be able to donate for? What do you mean by that, Jack? What's with the floating chairs? The chairs is what we call the Gladstone wall. I noticed that when they do, these are considered half blocks up here. These floor right here, this little like sheeting that goes on top. Well, it doesn't go all the way up. It's even though it's like a half or a quarter or a sixth of a block, it takes up a 1 block space. So technically, these aren't hovering; they're actually sitting on top of this. Exactly, Grindler knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, but we call that the Gladstone wall, because we get a guy by the name of Joey Gladstone that comes in here. Of course, you know, the Full House guy. Comes in here, and he's a big chair fanatic. It first started off as a joke, and now it just become it's a running gag that we do all the time. Yo, what's up, big country? How you doing? I like how you changed your name to be a little bit on the little bit racier side, so to speak. All right, hey, you have a good evening there, Jason. Hey, welcome back, Echo. How you doing? Have you ever had the urge to jump off the roof and into the pool? I've done it, Sammy, and what happens is you end up getting something called dry drowning in the game. Just like in real life, but in this, it's a glitch. What happens is your character goes under the water and comes up so quickly that the game still thinks your character's underwater. So if you get out of the water without resubmerging, your character still thinks he's underwater and leaving. So, thank you for the subscribe, big country. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. So what it does is it thinks that you're still underwater, so you're actually losing oxygen, and then you finally die. It's a fucked up glitch. Will I be able to donate towards the camera kit like a week from? Yes, actually, this is going to be running for about at least 160 days or until the goal's met. It's going to be running for quite some time. It's going to go until the start of next year. But this is one of the things that'll help this community grow. With this digital single lens reflex camera kit, I'll be able to do better vlogs, better food reviews. I can also set up stuff to be able to, when I do my face cam setup as well, it'll actually have a professional look. I want this I've said many times that I want this this channel and this community to look as good as possible for you guys because you deserve it. All right, did I drink any water? I don't think I drank any water. Let me drink some water. There we go. I drank some water. Oh, there's all my cement. I need that. I'm going to grab this and a stack of stone. We're going to make as much cement as we possibly can because we do need to make the concrete mix. Holy shit, that's going to take a while. All right, you're going to catch on out, Grindler. Hey, thank you for stopping by. Hey, come by anytime, any stream. I stream every single day at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. I also do early streams on the weekend. Not to mention, I also put out a piece of content every other day. So make sure to hit that notification bell. You'll get access to a lot of great stuff. So thank you guys for stopping by. And thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Alright, so we're making the concrete. That's going to be a thing now. Wait a moment. I need they said that they had some blocks that I need to go fix. Shit, I need some cobblestone too. Let's build some cobblestone. Cobblestone rocks. Let's make some. Shit, might as well. Let's go for it. This is on PC, good sir. We're playing on PC. This is Alpha 16.1 Build 1. It's freaking awesome. I've been able to play the experimental as well. There's been a lot of major changes from what the console players have now. Their update 10 is considered Alpha 15. So when we get Alpha 17, they'll get Alpha 16, and there's some massive changes. Jareth, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. You know, you remind me of the babe. So where were the holes in these walls that I need to fix?
Near the office.
Alright, I can do that. Sorry for the short stay, but I gotta go. I will catch you later, Jack. Thank you for stopping by. So you two have a good night there, Grindler.
Currently, I'm off trying to get those treasure map stuff done.
Nothing wrong with that. Treasure maps are good. Dodgeman92682, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Oh shit, you weren't kidding. They fucked this area up. I gotta go all Tim the Toolman Taylor over here. Oh, no wonder they literally busted out. This is a... Yeah, I need to fix this. This is just, This was just, windows, and I'm going to take out these windows. We don't really need the windows anymore. So I will just, reinforce these areas and fill them up with cobblestone. Well, with flagstone that I can upgrade to cobblestone. And then I'll be able to put in concrete, and concrete will just be absolutely wonderful. Man, I subbed, did I get the cool graphic and join the Pork Platoon? Yeah, it says right there on Nightbot to turn your subs public. Go to your YouTube page on phone, click the arrow by your name, and click my account. And then click on the click on the gear and turn the options of keep my subs, keep all my subs private. What it does is it changes it from private to public. Yeah, that's what I figured. They're gonna start trying to break into these little areas. And of course, what I get, I'm the repairman of this place. I gotta keep this place going. I gotta keep it running. Yeah, I remember when they broke in through here. They didn't break in through there, but they were pretty damn close. But once again, I'm just going to go through here, fix everything that needs to be fixed. That's good. And then eventually I'll just come through and just start fixing everything. You know what? We don't really need this anymore. I can actually break these damn things down. They'll be a good thing to have. So indeed, some sub-love indeed. Here I am digging a damn tunnel and listening to you too. Dig a hole, Eddie. Dig a hole. And just like any good maintenance man, I'm breaking down and trying to fix things. But this is something we don't need, but I can use it for the components. Alright. I think one more thing I can do is, I'm going to scrap this. I should be able to build a new pickaxe. And then what I'm going to do here is, tomorrow's stream, I'm going to start busting down this wall right here. This is not a very strong wall. It's only 300 points. Garrett Hill, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. Everything is pretty much 300 on these. But these pillars right here, that's 3,000 and that's 3,000 because it's concrete. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fill in these gaps. I'm going to start building a barrier wall, which is going to be at least a minimum of... Actually, can I fix this? The barrier wall is actually a minimum of 2 blocks thick and 3 blocks high. I'll probably go 4, and then I'm going to start doing concrete and then reinforced concrete. And then I got a hot tub here. This is actually nice. I love the hot tub. I'm just going to kick back and relax. Now see, there was a thing with like the dry drowning that you got to be careful with, but since that is actually taken care of, it's just fine. So yeah, there's a bunch of little things that I have going on that I want to be able to do. Metal sign, huh? I need to do metal sign. How much are these metal signs? Iron. Okay, I need to get a bunch of iron. See, how much iron do I have in here? I think I have enough to do what I need to do, actually. Just do the rebar frames that go right into reinforced. But that's the thing. I don't have enough metal to do the reinforced bar stuff. But I do have a lot of stuff for cobblestone. For cobblestone. But actually, they took the cobblestone stuff at you. So you have to start with flagstone, build it up to cobblestone, then you can do concrete. Little Ruby, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. So as much as I'd like to do the rebar stuff, I don't have enough metal produced to be able to do all the rebar at once. And I know that does take a little bit of time. Because a lot of this stuff does require cobblestone to fix it. You can do the cobblestone rocks. But actually, let me... Oh, I'm freezing, huh? What the hell? Oh, yeah. 4 now? You eat the ass on the DL? Always. Always about that down low ass, aren't you? I might be able to make it out of here. Oh, actually, I can make it out of here. That might be a good thing. Let's see what I can do. Rebar frame ramp, pillar, inside corner. I wonder if, did they actually ever fix that? That's what I'm trying to figure, if they actually fixed all that kind of stuff, so... Fuck it, we'll just build it. Let's just go with it. Let's just go with your idea. We'll do your idea. Let's try this out. And it's snowing outside. It's fucking snowing. Oh, look at that. It's all winter wonderland out there. Well, the crops are coming in early this year, but I guess so do the snow. Once again, I'm just playing fix-it guy around here. That's all I do. That is my role that I have in this game, is that I fix things. So I do have a lot of iron, and I do actually need to make something here. The reason that I have to make something with iron is because I owe it to somebody that has done a lot of great things for this particular stream. He's basically, I mean, everybody's donations have helped out this stream and helped out this channel altogether. But one guy has really gone above and beyond, and he's donated almost he's donated about $2,600 to the stream. He's paid for both my computer and Tigress's computer, which I both built. Really nice high-end machines. And he's always coming in on the 7 Days to Die streams. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to build some stuff. I usually, every time that we build a place, we always make something to like an homage to him. So what I'm going to do is up on that sign, I'm actually going to put his name up on the sign. So it'll be his name in the motel. Oh, you back, A-Joke? Nice. Welcome back, sir. I do have some rebar frame in here. Holy shit. How much concrete do I have? Let's play with this a little bit, actually. Back in 3 minutes. All right, I'll see you in about 3.5 minutes. Why don't do concrete blocks or rebar frames? Well, that's the thing. You can use the rebar frames to do concrete. And the rebar frames are actually fairly sturdy, and you can actually shoot through them. God damn it, it's actually fucking cold in here. I need to fix them. Uh-oh. Let's put my jacket on. I don't know why I'm getting cold, but I'm gonna put my jacket on. What's up, She-Geek? Welcome back. How you doing? But yeah, there's a building order to things. If you don't have certain things to get done in time, you can at least do that. But for the most part, if you do have to build anything else... Oh, damn, I haven't had a toolkit, and I do need to build one of these guys. Actually, how much is it for one of those? I might be able to build one of those right from the get-go. That is a crucible. That's a new thing. There's no longer calipers. It's called a crucible. 1,200 small stone, 900 lump of clay, mechanical parts, and forged iron. Ooh. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to stop all that. I still got that. God damn it. Crucible, thank you. So I need to get more small stone. I got mechanical parts, and I believe I have the forged iron. And it actually takes a while to build a crucible, too. So let's get some more stone. Well, that was sudden. Yeah, rebar goes right to reinforced concrete. I scrap the iron to get from the boulders. I scrap half and keep the other half in my forge. I think it's easier to get a lot of scrap iron. That's what I just think. Yeah, they made it on Alpha 16. There are good places to go get scrap iron. They did give you more options, but they've nerfed how much you can get from it now. It's actually very hard to get stuff, to actually mine stuff now. How long are you going to be streaming? I'm going to go for at least another 35 minutes. I'll be going for that. So yeah, I understand, Suede Puppy. That's actually good. But they changed how the rate of how much stuff that you get from. Not to mention you have to have certain perks that give you more stuff. That you don't get tired out, because coffee and hard alcohol doesn't do as much as it used to. Not only that, also depends on how good your tools are and what quality of tools they are. No, Tom. Actually, it continues to break down normally. That's the thing. It still has the levels that you had prior before, but you can just build it immediately. It doesn't just get destroyed after one initial level. Yeah, that's the cool thing. It automatically just kind of levels everything back. It's actually pretty nice. I thought the same thing, too, until I actually tested it out and tried to break it. And it was really cool. Alright, what's the crucible? Oh, because I need to know how to make fucking steel first. God damn it, gotta know how to make steel first. God damn it, I'm gonna start punching babies right in the goddamn face. But I do have enough cobblestone rocks. At least that'll be a good thing. Then we'll put those down here. Forged iron, and then I do have the rebar frames. I will stick the rebar frames over in the other spot, actually, with this too. And this. Put that back over there for the time being. Yes, in a way, yes and no. Ouch. Yeah, don't punch a baby. Well, what if that baby's a dick and he was just a rude cunt? Because there's some babies out there that are just pieces of shit. What if he's like the baby Herman from frickin' Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I'd punch that motherfucker in the face quick. What's up, Speamer? How you doing? Yeah, I'd punch that little baby right in his goddamn mouth. I don't give a damn. He's a piece of shit. If the baby is rude, I'd wait till they're 20. No, I wouldn't even wait till they cut teeth. That motherfucker would get a baseball bat right upside the dome. I would be like retroactive Planned Parenthood. Hit that fucker in the head with a Louisville. Oh, it's kind of frozen outside over the window. No, it's water. Everybody's talking about how to build and play 7 Days to Die when the only games I play is murdering people in multiplayer. Yeah. Oh damn. Oh dear God. Yeah, Porkins can get a little violent at times. I'm not saying how. I'm not saying why. What else do I need to build? Oh, science. I need 3 in science. 3 in fucking science. I have 4 in science. Oh no, I need toolsmithing up to 6. That's gonna be a while. And then steelsmithing. What else do I need? I need weaponsmithing up to 4. Son of a bitch. And then what was it? We got 6 points there. Armor crafting, the survivor, the fixer. Oh, what about a bad mechanic? Oh shit, I need 10 points for that motherfucker. I've never seen Porkins shoot a gun in this game. Just leave it all to Tigress. I do use the shotguns every once in a while, but for the most part, I like to get down and dirty. That's just how I like to do it. Ow, ow, ow. Actually, you know, I'm going to buy a level in each of this, so I don't starve as much. The baby was a gangster. You just messed with his gang, and they're after you. I guess I'm going to have to be a baby killer then. I'm just going to have to start beating baby gangs, man. Just going around the street beating. I'm the gang baby beating bandit. I'll be back going to beat my... Any suggestions for good videos? I would suggest probably... I would peanut butter bitch slap. Just go look that one up. Trust me. You will not regret it. And stay for the end. Hey, Porkins, I just joined. I'm just a free sub. Oh. Well, thank you kindly. I appreciate that. I don't know. That's probably not going to do much. But, hey, you know, I appreciate it. Try RedTube. xhamster.com. Or efucked.com. There you go.
In that one, there was 250 cash and 163 shotgun shells.
Yeah.
I got shotgun shells.
Now I don't have to make them.
Woohoo! And I'm gonna get that drop on my way home.
Nice, thank you. I was gonna ask if you'd do that.
Oh, that bitch is a squirter.
Great minds think alike.
And a cat. The pig in the barn is a good one. Oh shit, Burt Reynolds! Fuck him up! God damn it, Burt Reynolds! I'm gonna eastbound and down your ass with this fucking piece of shit. Oh, he was a skater boy. Said see you later, boy. God damn it. Yeah, enemies are definitely respawning back over here. Shit, it was right across her head. Oh, fucking Snicker snack on that. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Go look up Blue Waffle. Hey, go Blue Waffle. You know, 2 girls, 1 cup is not as bad as people think. And I was eating some chocolate ice cream while watching that one time. And I was like, you know what? I've seen worse. But, of course, one of my side jobs I used to do growing up was I worked in an adult store for a year and a half. And this one had arcade booths, so basically the whack-in booths. I used to have to clean those out every once in a while. Trust me, nothing's worse than having to clean Man Jam and all sorts of protein shakes out of various different places. It was quite horrible. What the hell's going on over here? Yeah, here's another thing I think I was trying to break down over here and it didn't quite do it. What would be my... Okay, if a zombie apocalypse happened, what would be your first... I would say it was those goddamn circus midgets. That's who would be behind. What? Yeah. So, yeah, one of the things also we used to do is weekly we used to change the movies out for the whacking booths. So we would have your standard fare. You know, you have your girl on girl, guy... like, girl on girl, girl on guy, guy on guy. You know, 3 ways, that kind of thing, you know, a couple of different little kinks, and then at the very bottom we'd have a button called random, and the random was just, we put in like 3 different movies of just some of the weirdest shit you would ever find. Like, there was one where this guy would have sex with a watermelon, and afterwards he broke it open and stuck it on his head. Or there was one that I vividly remember that kind of stuck out in my mind was, hold on. There's one that kind of stuck out in my mind, was this very beautiful redhead dancing around a 3-legged stool with a plate on it. You don't really think of much of it. Like, okay, what's up with this? I mean, why would you, you know, she's this gorgeous woman dancing around this, seductively around this stool and plate. And then after about 5 minutes, you're like, yeah, this is kind of good, because she's a pretty gorgeous gal. She's got that athletic build with a decent with a decent rack and, you know, nice booty. And then she bends over, gets that perfect camera shot, spreads her butt cheeks, and a 18-inch trout slides out of her butt and onto the plate. And your boner goes from yeah to like, what the fuck just happened? So, yeah, that kind of thing. Hermaphrodites are the best of both worlds. You had a weird young adult life. I was just, I'm just very, whoa, hey now. Oh yeah, she was shaking. Oh yeah, shake the booty. Hey, I was staring at ass, stop it. The booty had me hypnotized. So yep, you can say in my past, I've seen some shit. I've seen some shit and shit accessories. Come on, God damn it, hit the goddamn zombie. I hit him in his ass. God damn it. Come on, zombies. You sons of bitches. Well, that was... Stop it. Stop it. I stepped on spikes. I know. That asshole.
The drop had a lot of medical stuff.
Oh, that's good. I need a lot of medical stuff.
Yay.
This is going to be a 5-hour stream because I need to sleep soon. Actually, no, actually, we're going to be leaving here in about, closing up in about 25 minutes.
Great success.
Yeah, so if you guys can hang around for another 30 minutes, should be just fine.
Antibiotics. And iron boot schematics.
You son of a bitch! Oh,
alright, I'm gonna go to the trader because I still haven't even done that. Anything you guys need?
Nothing.
Not really, we're just being children. You guys have too many arrows.
So
You're
do
never
I take
enough.
the, like, the
In
diamond
the butt.
stuff
Oh, Master Shake.
and the cash and the tokens? Is that what I take?
I like Carl.
Yeah, take
Carl's
the
pretty
tokens
cool.
and all that stuff.
One of my favorite episodes from Hunger Team Aquaforce, Aquaforce Hunger Team, is I like the one that we're doing was the parasite South Beach parasite diet, and that was just funnier than shit. Laughed my ass off. What's up, Dark Deplorable? How you doing? Yeah, you never have too many arrows. Never. Black cowboy hat and probably need some of these. Where am I at? I brought some meat back.
Yeah, I could probably make
killed a
some
bunny
more
rabbit.
soup here soon.
Yes, I do, A-Joke. I do play.
Stew.
How long are we going for? I said we got about another 20 minutes right now. We should be ending this up here. It's only going to be a 4-hour stream tonight. Because there's a bunch of little things actually I got to do after the stream and get a few things going. Because if I don't, Tigress is going to beat my ass. And I don't want that. I don't want my ass beat. I mean, maybe I do. Maybe that might be my kink. Who knows? But I don't want my ass beat. Alright, here we go. Oh, we still got the bunch of glass panes. We got that. May the dark side taint you, says it has my thoughts. Oh, hell, those aren't dark side thoughts. I could show you some dark side thoughts. I got some Darth Sidious type dark spot. You might like it. Like what? Yeah, I mean, I like playing GTA 5. No, you don't. The doghouse isn't a good house. I love the doghouse. The doghouse is nice. Do you have any fetishes? No, not really. Can't say that I do. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you guys. Because those are mine and mine alone. Oh yeah, totally forgot I can actually go in here. What is in the stuff to go downstairs? Aha! That is the stuff to go downstairs. We'll take those and that and that and that. Yeah, there you go. Here we go. We're gonna put these in here for the time being. We gotta said we're just loading everything up now because it's getting towards that time, I should say. God damn it! This way, right? Yeah, there we go. And then wait a moment. I think I have some medical supplies that should be. Oh no! Wait, hold on. They got some killer medical supplies up there. What the hell am I doing? I'm not getting any pills. Why the fuck am I getting pills? I need to get. I know they had like a bunch of like. Yeah, there we go. That's what I need. I'm gonna take one of these. I'm gonna take 2 stacks of these. These are mine now. These are my dreams, and I'm taking them back. So do the boxes? So the boxes don't have labels anymore. No, they don't. So yeah, exactly. Rosano's are correct. You have to paint them on. Or you can actually put little signs on them too. That's what we've done. We've put signs on them, or at least the ones I haven't put any signs on them down here. I don't, because I'm a dick that way. I will, however. I'll put this one down here and I'll keep this one on me. Yo, welcome back, Breaking. You know, tricks sound pretty good right now. Wait a moment. Wait a tick. Iggy Figueroa, thank you for the subscribe. Welcome to the Pork Platoon. How you doing this evening? Welcome. I'm just waiting for 1,000 zombie horde. You know what? To be honest, it might get that way. Actually, I don't think the server will handle that many. But what was it? A horde night? When the horde night came by for the blood moon, there was quite a bit of zombies. I was actually a little worried there for a moment, for the time being, because it was actually doing pretty damn good. There was quite a bit out there. Oh, I'm doing well, Iggy. Thank you for stopping by, man. I appreciate you coming on by and hanging out in the stream. All right. I'm so glad we have that. Now I just need to start being able to make steel, and then I can actually make, you know, good stuff.
You didn't say if you liked the paint job, but I did.
Dang, I just got kicked out. But I sold all that stuff.
Yay.
I didn't realize this was a paint job. I didn't notice it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, changed it.
We now have 37,000 tokens.
Nice.
Hell yeah. You know what we can get at Chuck E. Cheese now?
A lanyard?
Yeah, I was going to say that, or at least like 3 pixie sticks.
Dang it, only 3 and I've got 4 kids. That's not a good mix.
Oh, hell no, that is not. I guess the twins are going to have to share. Anytime loving watching new people learn new things, always learn to get better.
What's worse than having
awesome.
one little piece of candy? Only having one and having twins. But then I think it should just be a battle royale.
Hey, that was a great movie. All right, I'll catch you later, A-Joke. Sorry you had to have a bad connection, buddy. It is darker than Satan's butthole out here. And actually, you know what I think I'll do on this? It is actually about that time. We've pretty much got everything that we need to. I think we can call it good. Have I tried Unturned? Yes, I have. I'm not very thrilled with it. I tried it actually when it first came out, and I've still seen the way it was and how it is. It's pretty cool that a young kid has put it together himself, but to be honest, he still has a way to go. Alrighty, so what we're going to do here is we're going to call this an end to the stream. So we're going to leave it here at about day 18. There's still a couple little things I want to be doing behind the scenes, but nothing too crazy. Hey, do we have a raid that we have in mind? So don't go yet, because we, at the very end of our streams, or at least we try to raid somebody like somebody raided me tonight. What we do is we try to give back to YouTube, to the smaller content creators, and no matter how large this community will get, I will always raid somebody else just to help them out. It might be something you like, might be something you might not like, but who knows? It's always a little crapshoot. You don't have one, Titan? What about you, Rastius? What do you got? Oh, I love Doctor Who as well. I want to see what the new Doctor can do. I just hope the writers don't fuck up her tenure as the Doctor. I really don't. The writers really failed Peter Capaldi, and I'm pissed about that. Because Peter Capaldi had the makings for a awesome Doctor. Not just a good Doctor. I mean, he was a good Doctor. But his acting ability is what carried him. But yeah, they buried Peter Capaldi, and I am very pissed about that. Because he could have been leagues ahead. Is Rastius still in here? Do you know if Rastius is still in here?
I don't know. I haven't really looked.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's really
Well,
interesting.
maybe
It's like,
we could ask the audience.
Maybe. We could probably ask the audience. Do you guys have anybody in mind that you would like to raid? It's actually a rarity that we ask the audience, because usually we usually have something that we usually have chosen for. But if you do have
hold on.
hold on, Tigers may have something.
Let me see if he's still streaming. I saw he was on.
All right. So Tigers is going to check out something real quick.
Yeah, see? Oh, wait, no, that's a different person.
Josh, I'm going to kick you in the nuts. I love you, Deacon, but I'm going to kick you in the nuts for that one.
No, he got off.
All right. It happens. Well, not help support channels are really and continue as well. Yeah, I mean, I like to try to help out as many as I can.
Give me a second.
Hold on, Tigers is looking up for something. So in the meantime, God damn it. God damn. God. Hold on a moment. Stop it. Freaking. Is it just you two? Yeah, well, it's myself and also Tigress and then River PB. River has just been out getting stuff. This is River. Right there, there's River. And then Tigress is down below. Hey, Bobby, get back in here.
Wait, I have one.
All right, she got one. We should raid a radio.
All right, here we go.
All right, so actually,
Rebecca, spoil it. Yeah, go there.
All right, so we just dropped it right there in chat. So go in there, yell out pork raid, have a good time. Hopefully these guys are going to be really entertaining. Hopefully something you guys like. Tomorrow we're going to be for the early stream. We're going to be doing Dying Light. Come out and join me. It starts at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. We're going to finish it up. It's going to be the finale of Dying Light. Let's kick it off with a big start. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate coming on out. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, give that like, subscribe, and notification button some hell. And I will see you all on the next battlefield. Deuces!